Alright, good morning guys. Raptus, Progressive, Austin, Joan, Lilo, Don, and Nikolai, good morning. Thank you for tuning in first thing, by the way. Joan says yes. How are you guys doing? How's your morning going? It's Tuesday today, so it's going to be a little bit shorter than normal since we start at 6 a.m. Servers go down at 8. But I think maybe toward the end this time, rather than just cutting it off, we'll kind of stay and maybe talk about chat for a little bit. Sometimes the servers, they give themselves an hour to go down, but then they're back up in 5 or 10 minutes. So once servers go down, maybe we'll just sit and talk for 5 or 10 minutes and see how things look. And if it looks like they're going to be down for a whole hour, we'll call it for the day. But if it looks like they will come right back up, then we'll get right back into it. But yeah, let's just see what today kind of unfolds for us. Let's see. Don says, why does it say 4 still, Qyune? Because we're still on our 4th attempt. Yes, Progressive has that right. Progressive, you change your what do you call that? Your, not your avatar, but your little icon. Looks good. Very nice. Morning, Nikolai. Plating. Good morning as well. Michael, good morning. How you doing? I think Qyune overslept. Progressive says, I think Qyune overslept. Why do you say that? We're right on time, I think, right? Let's see. Let's go ahead and knock out the rules real quick. Let's use the first order of business. The rules for the Ironman challenge is no dying, no gear above white quality, no gear enchants, no talents, no potions, no fast, no elixirs, no hellstones unless you're a warlock, no joining groups or raids, no killing dungeon or raid bosses, no food buffs, no XP boosting activities such as the recruiter friend, the monk racial, the XP potions. 10 says. Number 10 is no pet battles, no bodyguards with reference to Warlords of Draenor and Legion. There's a lot of people starting to do the Ironman challenge now, so while you're doing the challenge and you get up to levels, I think it's 90 and 100, and you're leveling in Warlords of Draenor and Legion, make sure you read the specific rules, because if you can't have followers, but there's a whole host of other rules that kind of go in with that specific expansion, so just double check that once you get into that realm of levels. But there's also no professions, and all except for first aid. You can't have first aid, so let's put those away there. Let's see. Don says, good morning, Qyune. Good morning, Don. How are you? Progressive says, by the way, Qyune, I followed you on Twitter. Oh, appreciate that. I should link that to my YouTube site, but it's Qyune Moon as well for those who actually have Twitter. I'll probably, maybe starting in September, I'll probably try to use Twitter more synonymously with YouTube and kind of announce that, hey, we're coming online soon, or hey, if we died, or something along those lines, just so that everybody's on the same page. We do have a new YouTube Challenger update, so Keithy is still leading the way with a level 60 hunter. Dollar in Gaming just hit 48 a couple days ago. Progressive hit 40 a couple days ago. Redzy, I haven't seen Redzy or Falasui in a while, but they're level 24 Paladin, level 15 Warlock. Shepu does the condensed version where he goes through and reads the quest as he's doing Ironman challenge. A little bit more immersive, a little bit slower, but still just as good. And then Jessica, Jessica Spankin' Tank. I've linked all these channels I've placed all these channel links in the description, so if you guys want to check those out and take a look, they are available. So with that, let's go ahead and get right back into this. Let's see. Oh, Repta says, good luck, dude. Can't stay here long. Got training. Progressive, you have Twitter. What is it? Oh, Progressive, Repta, appreciate you stopping by. You have a good rest of the day, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow as well. Don says, I'm good. I know $1 on gaming. Yeah, I've watched. I don't watch too much of the PvP stuff just because, I'm just not good at it myself. But in watching his other material, it's actually pretty fun to watch. Don says Jessica's stream got corrupted. Yeah, I saw that there was no sound, but I figured it was just maybe first attempt with Warcraft or something happened. So I did comment. Oh, cool! I don't know if you guys can see it. But there's Argus in the water. That's pretty neat. That's really neat, actually. I like how they've done that. With if you once you've killed Jaden on any level of difficulty, Argus pops up in the skybox. So we're going over here for no other reason than to see if we can kill the rare, because it's early Tuesday morning and a lot of times your rares are more available then. So this is just for me to get a little bit of an edge and see if I can purchase some larger bags by selling a BOE greens that pop up. So that's all this is about. We'll take a quick look around here. It's a kind of a big mob, but I don't see it, and it doesn't look, I don't think it patrols around. We'll just take a quick look here once again. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it patrols around, so it's no big deal. It was worth a look. Alright, so with that, we'll take back off, and I think we had to finish up some quests over here. So we'll head back up, and we were able to knock out the pirate quest where we kill the captains on each of the ship, because that nearly killed us the first time we did it, but this time it wasn't so bad because we knew that Sam would bug out when we jumped up on the ship. So Don says, what level? We are 43. I'm going to try to work on adjusting the size of these levels, or the indication level, because it looks like it is rather small right here. The level is right here, but it's pretty small. So I'll see if I can go in and adjust Z Pro. If not, maybe there's an add-on that makes that number a little bit bigger, and we'll put it in the side somewhere. Progressive says 40. Qyune is 43, I believe. That is correct. Yep, we are 43, and yeah, today there's really no end goal for today as far as level. Usually I like to have some sort of goal to achieve, but since servers will be going down in about 2 hours, we're just going for as much as possible here while being safe at the same time. And the last thing I want to do is die in Azeroth again. Austin says, I see Argus on all my characters. I haven't done Tomb yet. Do you think it requires a group on your server to down him? Adrius, welcome to the stream, by the way. Adrius says, show your gear. So this is our white and gray gear right here. Now, Austin, I think I'm not exactly sure how it works, but all right. So Tomb of Sargeras isn't out yet. So you know yeah, it is. It's not. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another dungeon. I'm thinking of the next one. Tomb of Sargeras is out, and when you kill Jaden on any difficulty level, even LFR, it updates all your characters, so it doesn't have to be in a pre-made group, if that makes any sense. All right, so we'll go ahead and tuck the cloth away. We're gonna have to work our way toward the east a little bit. That way we can turn in this quest, and I think it's gonna have us find the dead turtle meat after this, if I remember that right. Adrius, did I have it up for long enough for you, or you want to see it again? Don says, can you maybe put a level number up on the top left? Yeah, I'll see if I can find an add-on or find some sort of other way to make that easier to see. Maybe I'll tuck it up in the upper left-hand corner. But yeah, that's no problem. I can work on that later today. Fergus says, I never put a level on my stream either. Guess I should too. Yeah, you know, sometimes I think with the add-ons and whatnot, it makes that number just a little bit harder to notice. So I've noticed that on other YouTuber streams as well, that you know, it's kind of hard to see what their level is. So I'll try to work on that, like I said, today, and see if we can have something a little bit more viewer friendly by tomorrow. So this is the part where we need the 10 meat. So I'm going to jump off here and use the glider. Also, as always, if you use the glider, I'm hoping to find some, there we go, that's what we need. If you use the glider, 9 times out of 10, if you're a warlock or a hunter, it's going to despawn your pets or dismiss them, so just watch out for that. I've never aggroed the birds in picking up these carcasses, so I don't expect them to freak out today either. Let's see. Knight of the Emerald. Ah, that's a cool name. Knight just saw the rules flying aloud. Warrior Strider. Even the Ironman challenge has turned casual. I don't know about that. I guess it's it's up to people's opinion, but generally speaking, what kills you in the Ironman challenge is your Warcraft disconnects, your your unexpected respawns. Say if you're in a zone, especially in Outland or Northrend, a lot of times you have a whole zone respawn on top of you rather than just one at a time. That doesn't help you with disconnects or when Warcraft crashes. So I think, you know, with the addition of the, what do you call it, having a spec, because previously you couldn't have a spec, it has made it a little bit easier, but you know, it's still the more difficult challenge in WoW, so I'll settle for that for now. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I went off on a 3-minute tangent there and didn't even say hi. How are you doing, by the way, Knight? That is a good point. As far as the rules on the mounts, yes, you can use any mount, even your bind on account mount that you can ride before you're level 20. So we don't do that just because it sounds atrocious, but yeah, you are allowed to do that. So feel free to do it if you are doing the Ironman challenge. Let's see, extract the soul of mage. All right, where is this guy at? Way over here. So we're gonna have to kill our way back through the pirate camp. But yeah, like I said, we had a new challenger update, Jessica Spankintake, and I've linked her channel. So if you are doing the Ironman challenge and either you're streaming it live or you're putting condensed videos up, feel free to let me know, and I'll kind of keep an update on you, and we'll keep tabs on each other and see how we progress through the Ironman challenge. A lot of people right now are starting it for the first time, so the hunters seem to be the popular choice. So if you are starting it, I think more so than a hunter, I would recommend doing a night elf. Just that shadow meld does give you the capability of resetting combat 90% of the time. It doesn't always work, it's failed us before, but it is there and it does actually help quite a bit. Knight says, about to hit the sack, rarely see WoW on YouTube live stream, decided to check it out. Well, I appreciate that, Knight, and if you're heading to bed, you have a good night, and hopefully I'll see you next time, early in the AM, for me anyway. Sounds like it's nighttime for you. Let's see, Progress says, it's hard enough as it is, I encourage mounts. Yes, so for the Bloodthirsty Ironman challenge, once I have enough footage, I think I'll put it up this Sunday. I am actually doing that challenge with no mounts, no Hearthstone, no food, no first aid. It will be done with a warrior, and just in the spirit of Ironman challenge to make it as difficult as possible, and we'll work our way to 110 with only white quality gear and only completing less than 210 quests. So I need to get on that today. Usually I try to put in an hour, 30 minutes to an hour a day, just kill stuff and then log off, but I wasn't able to break away yesterday. Still need to work our way to kill Tim over here. Okay, yeah, we'll keep going that way. Let's trap him because we're going to probably pull that guy behind the cart. Yep. There we go. And Don says, yeah, I saw somebody doing the Ironman challenge and they dissed during a dungeon and came back and died. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the reason why people fail the Ironman challenge is independent of class. There's no denying that some classes are faster than others, but when your deaths are due to things that are independent of class, I don't know if you can necessarily say one class is definitely easier than another. If that makes any sense. Knight says, later, you take care, Knight. Have a good rest of the night. Alright, so we'll do that. Let's see, Sion says, just woke up. First video on YouTube. I appreciate that, Sion. How's your morning going, by the way? Progress says, looks like Qyune might be taking the day off. Why do you say that, Progressive? Is it buggy on your day, or what day are we taking off here? It might be, if it is buggy, try reloading the page. For some odd reason, chat stopped working about at hour 5 yesterday. I think it's just a YouTube thing, but yeah, the chat kind of died off about... I was getting whispers from some people that chat wasn't working for them, so YouTube may be updating something, so there is that to kind of look out for. Don says it's 5:30 p.m. for me. Nice. So it's later in the afternoon for you. My sister installed the charger, so if I leave, it's her fault. It's all good, man. Chargers are a rare commodity sometimes. Moody says, morning, Qyune. What's going on, Moody? Did you stay up all night again? Are you waking up right now? I hope I do this while he's perfect. Alright, we did get that off. I kind of want to see what this guy has to offer to sell. Oh, I already have that. Okay. So we'll put the cloth there. And we'll go ahead and sell all these items just to keep the bags nice and clean. Okay. And let's head back and turn in this quest. So I think what I'm going to do after we finish 1,000 Needles, I think we're going to go and move to Felwood. The questing there seemed to be pretty good last time we went there, and that will kind of more easily progress us into Winterspring, which I would much rather do than Ungor Crater, because Ungor Crater just took way too long. So we're going to go that route, I think, this time. I did manage to get flying, not flying, the 100% mount speed while we were off stream, so that's been kind of nice. That's kind of why my Hearthstone hasn't reset quite yet. Sam says I'm tired. Yeah, it takes a little while took me a little while to get used to the morning routine, but then once I did, it's almost easier to go to bed early and get up early than it is to... What is all this on me? Can I click it off? No, I can't. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, as much as possible, you try to make sure you don't have any buffs on you. I think food buffs will red flag you, but sometimes the zone will place a buff on you and you just can't help that. So if you can click it off, do so, but if you can't, you can't. There's no big deal. Moody says, I've been up all night, took a nap last night around 11 p.m. and woke up at 1 a.m. So I've been up for a while. I'm about to make some spaghetti. Nice. I had spaghetti for breakfast yesterday, actually. Had to get the carbohydrates in. Balanced longbow. Oh, you know what? That's a lot more average damage. Let's kill this guy. I'm curious how it's going to affect my Cobra Shot, though. So right now, Cobra Shot hits for 643 damage. I'm going to get out of the pathway here. It hits for 643 damage. So if we switch bows, is it an upgrade overall? Hits for 651. It's a minor upgrade and it hits faster, so I think we'll keep it, actually. For me, as long as Cobra Shot is always going up in damage. That's more important than the overall DPS, because typically, normally speaking, you know, your combat between mobs is about, I don't know, maybe 6 to 12 seconds, and within that time frame, you're hitting them more often with Cobra Shot than auto attack. So I kind of prioritize how much damage is going into Cobra Shot more over than the auto shots, if that makes any sense. Aggressive says, sounds good. Nice. Don says, congrats on 277 or 227 subs. Thank you, I appreciate that, and thank you guys. More importantly, it's always, as always, a lot more fun to do this with chat. You guys saved me a couple times. Sorry, I think this is where this quest kind of dies out. I'm gonna sit here and kind of watch them just for a second. But yeah, no, like I said, I appreciate everyone who's subbed and liked the videos today as well as in the past, just because it's so much more fun to do this with people, you know, chiming in and talking about the challenge and talking about Warcraft. And I learned just as much, if not more, from chat than you guys learned from me. So hopefully I make up for being somewhat entertaining. Alright, so with that, we have a rare that's near this guy. So we'll go over there and see what that's about. I think, I'm not quite sure how we can get over there to it. We'll take a look. So this gnome's going to kind of have us do a couple quests to betray the centaur here, and unfortunately that's going to make him aggressive against us. We'll go ahead and grab this quest as well. There's a horde NPC inside this tent. If you kill it or engage combat with it, it's not the end of the world. It won't flag you for PvP, so he does hit hard, so just kind of be aware of that. Be careful, Dire Beast. He's hitting me more than he's hitting Sam. There we go. We'll take that item, and we will sit down and eat right here. I do need to grab some level 45 food here pretty soon. Progressive says, Qyune's really getting those subs. I think he had 90 when I subbed. Yeah, like I said, I do appreciate that. We are, and thank you for the like as well, Don. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rare over here and see if we can get a little bit of free XP as well as a BOE item. I'm gonna kill this guy just because yeah, it looks like that's a rare. Nice. Sky Shadow. Alright, so with that, I think I might have to change the little glow that I get every time I see the rare pop up. He's got 2400 XP, so we will go ahead and blow our cooldowns on him. Just because that red that goes around the perimeter of the screen is the same red that you get when you're almost dying, and it does make you a little nervous. Alright, so we'll grab the BOE. I have a nice little cloak, so we'll throw that on the auction house a little bit later, and we'll turn in this quest here. I picked up another one from this guy. I'm not sure where it has us. Oh, it has us going way over here. Alright. So yeah, we'll turn in this quest to the gnome. It might have us go over there as well. I'm not 100% sure. We've only done this area once before, and we kind of sped through here. Reese says, good morning, waking up to the stream. Good morning, Reese. How are you doing? How's, hope you slept good. How's your morning going? Collect 8 needles of pyrite ore chunks. Okay, so yeah, I think all that is over here. What we may do is, it looks like there's 2 rares that pop up here. So I'm going to see if we can run along the coastline, and maybe we'll hit those as well. Otherwise, those rares may be in a cave underneath the water. I think there's 1 or 2 rares that are like that. So we'll keep an eye out for those. If it happens that they're not there, we won't spend too much time. I think that rare gave us, how much did he give us? About 4K. So the rares give anywhere about a third to a half, what do you want to call it? A quest equivalent, equivalency in XP. So it's worth going a little bit out of your way, but not over the top. So Progressive says, "Oh, I had to reload you too. I thought I had nothing on your stream page." Yeah, I was wondering what was going on, Progressive, because you were like, you did say, I think Qyune's still asleep. But yeah, if you guys have any sort of issues with the stream lagging out, whether it's my stream or another YouTuber's, it seems like reloading the page helps you quite a bit, or quite often. For some odd reason, yesterday I was getting a few whispers that people were having a hard time posting in chat. So I'm not sure why. Like I said, YouTube might be upgrading something, whether it's mainframes or software. So, but if that does happen to be the case, let me know, and I'll try to kind of adjust accordingly. I think I like running across this way better, just because we can at least kill stuff as we move along. Otherwise, nice. Otherwise, it's just running across the water. So this is a nice change of pace from last time. Reese says it was all right up last night farming mounts. Night farming mounts. Oh, okay. Did you get anything? I think I'm going to start doing that. A lot of people have asked for me to stream the mount farming and the pet farming. So maybe we'll move that in the afternoons. We'll try to keep the... Alright, so these guys... Alright, so these guys... I'm going to see if I can trap that dude and kill his dogs first. There we go. Because I'd rather deal with... one large mob than a bunch of little ones. He's got 2,400 health, so we'll just blow him up. And there we go. Nice. So we have some leggings for transmog purposes. And we'll keep going. Progress says, yeah, the chat thing hit me also yesterday. It wouldn't let me type anything until reset. Really? Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'll probably, yeah, let me know if that happens. I don't know how you would, outside of a personal message maybe, but I'll try to keep an eye out for that. I think once the streams get over that 3 to 5 hour mark, things start to get a little buggy. So which is kind of impressive, because someone just recently did a stream for 36 hours, so that's pretty insane. We might bust open a long stream during the Ironman challenge race, but for the most part I think we're going to keep it at our normal time. It seems like 3 to 5 hours is the general sweet spot, so we'll keep it around there. We are coming up on another rare though, so this is all along the way to where we're going for the next couple of quest items. Let's see. Sion says, Jesus, how do you remember where all the rares are? I have the add-on, but honestly, just because I've done the questing so many times, it's all kind of just in the head for the most part. I wish I was able to remember them all as easy as I could have. I wish I could remember my college material as easily as I remember where the rares are, should I say. So yeah, we're coming up on the next one. Reese says, nope, no drops. Gonna dedicate my day to it today. Yeah, today I need purple gloves to drop out of Heroic Hellfire Citadel. I'm working on a specific transmog so that I can get my my thumbnail remade for the Ironman race in September. So trying to plan ahead a little bit as much as possible. We ran it 4 times last week and didn't get the drop, so we'll just kind of keep doing it until we get it. Let's see. Declan, if I'm saying that right. Declan, thank you for a sub and welcome to the stream. We are going to go ahead and knock out Sin here, but I'm going to take out the Cobra first. And yeah, thank you again for the sub. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and pop Bestial Wrath here and open this guy up. There we are, level 44. And we got some ropes. So ropes generally sell alright. Better sometimes than the bracers, I suppose. Alright, so with that, I'm just going to run and use the Goblin Glider once again. That way we can just glide down there and go as fast as possible. So I think we need, what, ore and to mess with the brazier. So we'll go ahead and land here. And let's see. I guess we'll start in this area. Pull Sam back and kill this little fish here. And we'll go ahead and kill this guy over here. He looks kind of... I thought so. I was going to say, he looks kind of weird. Out of place, so... Looks like he's lost. We'll help him find his way back. Alright, so... I don't have... Bestial Wrath up just yet. He has 2300 health, so... I think we'll be alright. We'll slow him down. Moody says, how long are you streaming for today, Qyune? So, we're probably going to do the gameplay portion for about 2 hours total, because the servers are going down at 8 o'clock server time, my time anyway. So, but I think what we'll do differently is maybe just have a little bit, 5-10 minutes, see if servers come back up, and we'll just kind of have a interactive chat. Interactive, I guess, questions and answers, and we'll just talk about 7.3 and whatnot for 10 minutes for chat, and just kind of get to know each other a little bit better, and see if it pops back up. Yeah, I thought there was another one nearby. Barnacle Gem. I can't remember if he's up top or down below, but... Oh no, he's down below. Alright. Let's go ahead and unload him. On him. So yeah, this is a good thing if you are doing the Ironman challenge on Tuesday mornings. A lot of people just don't play that much on Tuesday mornings because of the anticipation of servers going down. So that is a very good opportunity to farm rares and try to get some level of transmog gear here. Progressive, well, that's crazy and actually kind of dangerous. What is that, using the Goblin Glider? Let's see. Dedicated to my day to day. And Reese says, what is the drop percentage? The drop percentage for what is that, Reese? Are you responding to someone else in chat? I apologize. Austin says, Qyune, have you completed the class hall mount on a hunter yet? It unlocks all the characters of that class if you have. Really? No, I haven't actually. I didn't know that. I thought it was kind of like the what do you call it? The archaeology achievements, where it's bound to one character. I think they're actually making an effort to make a lot of that stuff account bound, so people, it's a little bit more alt friendly. Progresses the 36-hour stream. Yeah, that is kind of dangerous actually. I don't think, you know, some people can do it, some people can do it with no problem, but it is kind of dangerous to do that to yourself. Alright, so this is the part where we realize that the smaller the circle, like the quest indicator here in the corner of the map, the smaller that is, the higher the likely it is it's inaccurate. It doesn't mean it's inaccurate all the time, but it just has a higher chance of being inaccurate. So when you have a small one like that, don't be afraid to go outside of that realm and look for the item or the quest or whatnot. So there's that free little tidbit of information. But I think I was answering Austin. Yeah, as far as if I've gotten that mount, no, I haven't gotten any mounts yet. Any of the class order hall mounts. I'm pretty close to the DK. I think I'm maybe 3 or 4 quests away, but the DK hasn't been all that interesting to me. We'll probably have to kill this guy, huh? He's got a lot of XP. So we'll go ahead and pop Bestial Wrath here. But yeah, like I said, the DK class mounts another bone type dragon, and I kind of like the way the other ones look, so I haven't really been all too motivated to get it. But I might get the hunter one. The hunter one and the monk one look really good in my opinion, so I might grab that. Alright, so let's get out of here. We have all the quests we need for that. We need to go back there. I think we'll hearth. That might be the best use of the hearthstone. Austin says, I thought it was account bound too, but I have access to all the characters below 110, which is nice. I like BOA over single character unlocks. I agree 100% with that. You know, it's I've kind of always had the opinion that vanilla WoW and WoW today are very good games, but for very different reasons. And the WoW today is very alt friendly. And oops, let's go ahead and sell this stuff. You know, it kind of prompts you to play alts and kind of, you know, diversify your gameplay a little bit, whereas back in vanilla it was much more immersive, much more you need to sink in a lot of time into this specific character to play the game. A lot of people were able to work around it, but most could not or did not. So, you know, when you have those kind of achievements like your archaeology achievements that aren't account bound and it takes 8 weeks to do it, I think that's a step in the wrong direction to where the game is going now. If you've done something like that once, there's really no reason to do it more than once. You've experienced the content. Doing those types of achievements that are not account bound are generally just a time waste in my opinion. Purely my opinion, but Declan says, where did you get the 600 gold? So Declan, one of the allowances, one of the surprising allowances in the Ironman rules is that you can use the auction house. So when we're out here and we're killing these rares and they drop the BOEs, we're usually taking those items and dropping them off on the auction house and selling them for whatever we can get. Usually what I'll do is, if there's an auction up, I'll probably undercut them by 25%, because it doesn't matter to me if I make the maximum profit off the items. It's gold is gold, and gold is only useful to us for making, either getting mount training or getting bags. Maybe if you want to get a nice shirt or a tabard, but generally speaking, gold only has those two benefits. So we're gonna have to kill this guy again. I wonder if I can get away with just trapping him, and or not. Okay, so let's go ahead and blow him up, Sam. Alright, so that, keep him quiet. Alright, so we made him mad, I think. So we'll go back here and turn it into the gnome. Let's fight our way back out. Progressive says, didn't one person die last year doing a long stream like that? You know, I think so. And a lot of it, in my opinion, you know, everyone's has a different body type, obviously. But, you know, in doing something like that, you kind of need to set yourself up almost in a professional sense. You know, you need to make sure you've eaten well for the past couple of days. You don't want to be running off energy drinks and caffeine pills or whatever else people have when you start one of those long streams. When you're more heavily drinking your energy based drinks and you don't have as much food in your body, you know, it's the same as if you drink alcohol on an empty stomach. You're going to get drunk faster. But what makes energy drinks more dangerous is some people are more prone to having their heart, what do you call it, run loose, meaning that, or run away, I think is the terminology, kind of like a diesel engine. Sometimes the old diesel engines would rev up in RPMs, and they would pass a certain threshold where the motor would sit there and run faster and faster and faster until it literally blew up. It's kind of the same thing with caffeine and energy drinks on an empty stomach, especially for an extended amount of time. You find most people most people can handle it and it's fine, it's no big deal, but some people are susceptible to their heart just running wild and hitting 2 to 300 beats per minute, and of course that'll kill you more faster than anything else will. So yeah, that's I don't really have a drive myself personally to do an extended stream like that. I do need to drop this down somewhere. I think it's over here. Let me kill this guy before, because I think we need to defend this oil rig from a couple waves of guys. But yeah, I don't have too much of a drive. We might do several extended raids streams when we do the Ironman race, but generally speaking, nah, we'll keep it down to 3 to 5 hours. I think that's a nice sweet spot. Let's see. Rest says, "What's the drop percentage on the gloves you need?" Oh, you know what, Reese, I have no idea. That's a really good question. It is the. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Classic. Wood, Draenor, Hellfire, Heroic, Gear Filter for Priest. I think we'll pop Bestial Wrath so we can get that other one off my rig, which is at half health. So let's see here. Gloves. Just making sure these guys don't spawn. Drop a trap there just in case. They seem to be coming from that direction in general. So there, right there. The Craggy Gloves of Grasping. I'm not sure what the drop rate for those things are. It doesn't really say. I might have to get an add-on for that. I think, oh, there we go. So yeah, let's go ahead and blow these guys up. My rig is down to 26%, so hopefully if it breaks, it doesn't explode. Too bad I can't heal it. I'm gonna see if I can put my trap like right there. My luck, I'm gonna shoot the one guy that gets trapped. Kind of expecting. Oh, okay, that works. Sion says at 7.3 you'll like the DK. Just look at Wowhead changes. Yeah, Sion, I'm more of an obliteration kind of frost spec, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think Breath of Sindragosa is going to get a little bit of a nerf, so we might be in a good position come 7.3. The clan says, "Oh, I never knew that there was an allowance. The more you know, I guess." The clan says, "Wait, Sion, should I level DK? I main a mage." Honestly, Declan, my normal advice for leveling stuff is just level what you enjoy. People are, people who top the charts, I think, are more so the type who enjoy what they play rather than a class strength, generally speaking. Of course you have your 1% of raiders that are going to be good no matter what, but I think your best players are the ones who come from people who just play what they enjoy. So we need this guy right here. The clan says, "LOL Qyune, the only channel where you can get from 36-hour streams to diesel engines. I've been up for almost 2 days as well, though I've taken care." Bombas. Alright, Bombas, let's cook. Hey guys, what's going on, Bombas? Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I think that's the first time I've seen your name. How you doing? But that is kind of funny. Yep. I have a little bit of a mechanical background, so I guess that's how I relate things sometimes. That is funny though. Go from Ironman challenge to diesel engines. 36-hour streams as well. But you haven't slept in 2 days, Decline. Jesus Christ, dude. Is that, do you have something like insomnia, or is it just something you do every once in a while? I did hear about maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago, there was a Japanese woman who had the most unusual sleep pattern. She would sleep for 18 to 24 hours and then stay up for 2 days. but she lived like 100, 100 and something. It was kind of odd. Definitely don't want to base your health patterns off of exceptions, but it would be kind of interesting to know the definite reason of how or why she lived so long. But I think the Japanese have a pretty high high diet consisting of fish and all the nutrients that fish gives you. Alright, so we need to try to get up here and kill this elemental, so maybe I'll go this way. Our Bombus says Beastmaster Hunter. Sorry, Bombus, I am behind the chat a little bit, but yes, I am Beastmaster. So once we get to, I think Mount Hyjal and Vashir, I'm going to start taming some of the more rare beasts and spirit beasts once we get to that content. But I've seen someone do, what do you call it, survival? And they did fairly well with survival, so I think both are pretty viable options. We have ropes attached to us for some odd reason. I'm going to go ahead and heal up here. Sion says, look, all damage abilities increased by 27%. Jesus Christ. Wow. I didn't know it was that much. Wow. So maybe I should start raiding. Actually understand how to play my class in a raid environment, but like I said, man, I didn't know it was increased by that much. Incoming nerf, right? Alright, so let's see. We need to blow the horn. Well, where's the horn at? Oh, it's right here. This big thing. Okay. Alright, so this guy's coming up. I'm going to step down here. That way I can kind of shoot him as he floats down. A little out of my range at the moment. So we'll go ahead and have Sam taunt him. No problem there. Alright. Can't loot him. Nothing to loot off of him. But we'll go back to the gnome. I do think I remember there being a rare back here. So let's, since we're this far, let's go ahead and silence the lightning bolt. And Declan says, oh, just something I do every now and then, just sort of a binge session thing. More power to you. You know what kind of killed me in my ability to do all-nighters was that when I had gone to college, I was so nervous about failing because the curriculum I was in had a 60 to 70% fail rate. So what I had done my first semester was spent over 1,000 hours in the library. Oh, nice. He's a old rack. Spent 1,000 hours in the library my first semester, which included 15 all-nighters. I think that ended up hurting me more so than helping, just because I was spent that much time. That is 8k health. Jesus Christ. So let's heal Sam up. I'm going to see if I can trap this guy. And then res Sam. Get a second shot there. Oh, I didn't realize, I forgot he had so much XP. Bestial Wrath again. We'll heal Sam up. Wow. That was 3,200 XP. Nice. Alright. I'm going to sell that item because I keep going in my bags and I'm afraid I'm going to accidentally sell the headpiece there. There we go. Alright, so with that, we'll turn it back into the gnome now. Sion says, Breath of Sindragosa is getting buffed. Now, is the spell itself getting buffed? Or is the, I guess the overall spec getting buffed? Because that spec is kind of heavily dependent on a couple of talents, and it's a high risk, high reward kind of spec. That's kind of why I don't play it too much. In LFR, it's fine just because you can do what you want and you can stand where you want as your cooldowns come. But you know, generally speaking, it's one of those specs where you kind of have to allow yourself to stay on the boss, and if there's a lot of movement, it might be difficult to maintain. But I thought Breath of Sindragosa as a overall spec was getting a bit of a nerf, but I might be wrong. It's been about a month since I looked at the PTR and patch notes. Sip It, what's going on? Good morning. Sip It says, hey there, Qyune, how's your morning going? We're doing well. We started today at 43, and we are 44, halfway into 44, so progressing pretty smoothly, actually. Haven't had any close calls yet. I think our close calls will probably come here in the next hour or so when we have to run over these pillars. Just because there's 4 bosses that we have to kill, and they all hit pretty hard and have a decent amount of health. We got lucky the first time and had a monk that was kind of happened to be questing there at the same time, and he had BOAs on, so we just kind of leeched off him a little bit. But this time we're kind of on our own, so deliver the oil to that guy. Alright, so let's run back. We'll switch them out here. The clan says, what realm do you main? I main on Khadgar and Ilaria because they're shared realms, so I have characters on both, and yeah, Khadgar and Ilaria. In fact, my DK is on Khadgar, and my hunter, my main alt is on Ilaria. Just need to remember to blink more often. Grayson says, I love hunting rares, and sometimes I'll go back to second time if I spend a lengthy amount of time in the zone. Yeah, Progressive, I do the exact same thing. If we go back over here, we'll probably see if that wyvern's still up, but generally speaking, the higher level you get, the longer the timer on those rares, so it works really well in the starting zones, but it kind of peters out a little bit as you level up and get closer and closer to 60. Cornbread says hello. Well, good morning, Cornbread. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I think that's a new name, so welcome and good morning. Alright, so we'll turn this in up here. I have quite a few quests that I think has me going all over the place. None of which are in 1,000 Needles, though. So we'll speak with, what's your name, at the free one post. So this is the part where it's going to get a little bit dangerous for us as we pick up this quest, and eventually we go from pillar to pillar to pillar, and then here's the most dangerous part. So that guy, I think he has 8k health, and he spawns ads at the same time, so we're just gonna have to be extremely careful around him. I think we're gonna have to run there, unfortunately, so we'll do that. We'll get on the Water Strider mount. If you I know there's a Water Strider mount in Legion, and there's one in Pandaria, and I want to say there might be one from Warlords of Draenor. If you're doing the Ironman challenge, it is worth your while to go out and farm the rep or purchase it. I don't know how you get the other two, but the one I got comes from Nat Pagel rep, and that's a little time consuming, but it is worth it in the end just to have that capability of running across the surface. I don't know of too many more mounts that are comparable to it, but yeah, it is definitely worth getting it. The clan says, I main on Tichondrius. Tichondrius is Alliance heavy, isn't it? Is it PvE or PvP? Says switched in November from the Scryers. Was a weird switch from RP to PvP though. My first round was PvP. So the Scryers is PvP, right? And Tichondrius is... I thought Tichondrius was PvP, but I guess it's RP then, right? Yeah, it is a little bit different. The dynamic of characters on those realms are quite a bit different. So, if you're on one realm and you just don't find you're meshing with everyone, try switching, because there is definitely a community vibe difference, a collective hive mind kind of a different outset. Let's see, we want to go this way. I guess I'll just follow the arrow on my map here. Sipper says, Declan, just wondering why you start every sentence with LOL. I don't mean to be mean, just wondering. Oh, he's a happy dude. Declan's just happy. That's alright. Declan says LOL, I don't know. Just did it again, that's funny. Sipper says, alright, I'll cope with that. Alright, so we need to not... I don't think we're... Yeah, we can't hit her. Okay, we're alright. A lot of times your NPCs that sit out like this are faction based. Huh. We could buy a bow if we wanted to fail the Ironman challenge. So let's take a quick second, take a look at the guns. We have level 9, 16, and 21. Yeah, it doesn't look like that's gonna benefit us all too much. Okay, it was worth a shot. We'll run up here and grab this quest as well. Rescue Fearless Sentinel. So I think we can run through these guys without getting in combat. If my name turns red, then we're in combat and we'll have to kill it, but generally speaking, we'll try to kill these guys more so on the way back. I'm actually going to get off the water stride amount. That way, if we fall, we don't die on top of the water, we just fall through it. And we need to kill a bunch of invaders, so we can do that kind of on our way back. And we'll run across the bridge over here, I think. So like I said, since our name's still in green, we're not in combat, so we'll be alright for now. Grab this quest. Collect Logan's horn. Alright, we got that. I guess we don't need to do too much other than kill this guy right here. And we'll set her free. Alright, so with that, what is this? Oh, we do need to kill this guy for the horn. I thought we collected it off the corpse there, but evidently not. So let's go ahead and clear out this area a little bit. That way, in case we have to run around, due to the NPC, we can do that. Declan says Horde Heavy describes as RP, but Takandris is PvP. Okay, I gotcha. Yep, the when I used to play Horde, I played on Illidan, and I think the odds of alliance, our ratio from alliance to Horde is, or Horde to alliance is 100 to 1. So you know, it was essentially a PvE round with a little bit of PvP on the side. She has 3,300 health, so we'll just blow her up. We'll heal Sam here and take the horn. Alright, so with that, we need 4 more of the invaders killed. Most of them don't drop any loot, surprisingly enough. Alright, so let's see. I guess we'll kill this group up here. Let's start with that guy next. And then we'll end this guy right here. Declan says, one of my friends failed the Ironman challenge at level 62 or somewhere around that. One of the quest mob groups basically spawned too fast. Yeah, so that's one of the primary ways of dying the Ironman challenge. Is that there's just not much you can do to avoid that. That's actually what killed me at 85, is part of the reason that killed me at 85 was that we had, I think we were behind someone and they're, you know, who they were killing and whatnot, so we kind of, when we arrived, we killed a couple of things that were neutral and not realizing that there were more aggressive mobs that had not yet spawned. They spawned on top of us as well, and killed us at 85, and then respawns also contributed to my death at 74, which was our third attempt. So that happened a couple days ago. Alright, and that's kind of why I wasn't on the Water Strider mount. But let's see, let's go over here and turn this in. But yeah, the Ironman, a lot of what I've noticed with the Ironman race failures just come from items you really can't help. Whether it's Warcraft crashing or disconnects or, you know, the respawns like you were saying. A lot of that is independent of class, so... Alright, so we need to speak with... what's her name? Do we have any more quests that open up down here, or... No, I don't think so. Okay. So we're going to run right back up to the top. The reason I dismounted and coming back down is these are pretty steep slopes, so you have a good chance of just falling off the side, because 100% mount speed, in addition with the angle of the slope, a lot of times you just kind of run off the edge even if you do stay on the path. Let's see, I think that's a safe spot. Let's see, Racer, good morning, what's going on? It says, what's going on, what's up, Qyune? Well, second mage died today. Oh, no way, really? At level 45, I died on the Western Plaguelands in a cave because Freaky Spiders respawned in like 5 in a row around me, and Frost Nova was on cooldown. Oh, sorry to hear that, Razor. Yep, those respawns are rough, man. They only get worse in Outland and Northrend. Alright, so no, we were supposed to talk to this person here. I'm going to trap one of these guys so we don't have to deal with more than one. So we'll take up this quest. But man, sorry to hear that, Razor. Man, that sucks. That's terrible. 45. So I guess we should be careful. We are now 44. Generally speaking, what I found is that the Ironman challenge, your 1 to 20 is pretty easy, pretty simple. You might come across 1 or 2 close calls, but generally speaking, it's pretty one-dimensional. Just kill them and move on. 20 to 30, or sorry, 20 to 40, it's a little bit higher frequency, but really not too much more noticeable. But after 40, you know, stuff starts hitting pretty hard, and yeah, have to go a little more safely than most. Neil, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Alright, so we're going to trap one of these guys. Trap this guy. Alright, and that's exactly what I didn't want. That's alright. Let Sam take care of that. Alright, so we need to work our way all the way across here. We'll go ahead and silence. Nope, we don't need to. He died too fast. Minge, welcome to the stream. I'd say a new name, I believe. Haven't played WoW for years. What's the Ironman challenge? Oh, that's a good point. So we'll pop this up here for the next 30 seconds. If it goes longer than that, let me know. But Ironman challenge is pretty much going from 1 to 110 without dying, and only using gear quality items of white or gray. There's a bunch of other rules like sorry, no potions, no dungeons, no let's silence that. Hopefully that doesn't pull. Okay. No elixirs, no flasks, no XP boosting activity of any sort, no food buffs, no talents. You can have a spec because you kind of have to have a spec in Legion, but pretty much have to do it without any sort of talents. So this guy, this is the first one that has a little bit of a higher chance to kill us, since he has 8k health. In comparison, we have 2300. So I'll click these, but we need to do this quickly before we run into respawns. I'm going to kill these guys just so we can run around if we need to. I have a feeling that Sam will die before... let's go ahead and heal that. Sam will die before we can kill him in one go, so let's go ahead and do that now. Pop Bestial Wrath and all cooldowns, and away we go. At least we have the help of that Sentinel, and holy hell, yes, I'm just getting hit really hard. Alright, there we go. Squeeze that by. Jin, good morning, and thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream, by the way. How are you doing? Alright, so that is level 45, and we're off to kill the next hard to kill guy. I think we'll go ahead and grab these weapons here. Yeah, this is just weapon racks and killing the Grim Totem guys. Okay. Yeah, last time we were here, there was a Horde monk that had kind of... we leeched off a little bit, so doing this on our own is going to put us in a different atmosphere altogether, I think. Catch up with chat. He says, I haven't played WoW in 4 years. Oh, Clan says, Qyune's like, good, I'm not going there now. Oh man, the Ironman challenge is a Warcraft, is a WoW challenge where basically you can't die and there are a bunch of rules to go with it. So yeah, Minge, if you need me to pop the rules back on, just let me know. That's no problem at all. I spent an hour making it look nice just for that reason, so if you want to see it again, let me know. Alright, so with that, and then we'll grab these group of weapons over here. And the man says, wow, that's a real challenge. For fuck's sake. Yeah, it is. It's about as immersive as you can get at the moment. So, you know, I know everyone kind of has their different opinions on the Ironman challenge and how easy or tough it is, but as of now, as it stands, this is one of the tougher challenges within the game. So, kind of a testament to that is if you go to the Warcraft challenges website, which is linked in the description, there's only 20 people who've made it to level 110. This guy also has 16k health, so what do I need to be doing here? I wonder if I click this. I wonder also if I can trap him. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna stay over here. Alright, so I can't really click the other things. Alright. I guess we'll unload and see what happens. If he, yeah, I think he's gonna hit Q. Oh, we're stunned. Okay. Now we lost Bestial Wrath due to that stun, but we can at least heal Sam up. Lava Burst we cannot silence. We'll drop some Dire Beast. And he's gonna stun us again. Thankfully, we're not in that fire while we're stunned. I'll try to heal Sam one more time here. And I'm going to stay on the outside of the storm as much as possible. Stunned once again. This quest is going to be really difficult if we're melee, because I think that storm ticks for about 4% each time. Whereas he turns into a golem. Yeah, this is a nerve-wracking quest, to be sure. Alright, that's done. We'll accept that. So at least we did kill the guy with 16k health. Jin says, me, what level are you? I can't see. I'm going to try to update that later on, Jin, but as of now we're 45. I'll try to make that number a little bit bigger next time we stream. It seems like it's a little bit difficult for a lot of people to see, so I'll try to work on that later this afternoon. Me says that would be good, man. I don't really get the didn't really get the chance to read it all. Oh, okay, no problem. Let's go ahead and pop it up then. So the Warcraft, the other YouTube challengers that are doing this challenge are on the left, and their channels are linked in the description, and the rules are on your right. So that's about as big as I can make the font with that many rules. So if it's still hard to read, let me know, and maybe I'll adjust that later today as well. I'll try to find an easier font to put that in. Because that's kind of the whole purpose of that, is just to hopefully make an easy to read format for the rules. Because there's quite a few the first time around. I know, like in, for example, Warlords, Draenor, and Legion. Alright, so who do we have to kill here? Oh, this guy's in this area, so yeah, let's see if we can just wipe this whole area out real quick. Alright, we'll blow up, we'll silence lava burst, we'll heal Sam, take out this guy as well. I'm going to try to save my, what do you call this thing? Bestial Wrath for when we fight this big guy. Because we're going to have that, there's no getting around that. I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to try to kill the guy at the end of this quest, because let's not mess with him just yet. Just because he did nearly kill us last time. And it was a really close call. So I'll put myself in a position to be able to feign death or shadow meld. And we'll just give it at least one attempt. I think we at least should try it. So I don't have trap up just yet, so we'll just kind of plow through these guys. We are at full health, so we'll silence that lava burst, and then we'll blow this guy up as well. Mean says thanks, it's good. Okay, I'll put it back down then. How do talents work? So I think it's every 15 levels you get access to another talent. But Corn, thank you for the sub, and like I said, welcome to the stream. Let's go ahead and trap that guy. You get talents, I think, every 15 levels. He broke my trap. Okay. So I'm not going to loot these guys just yet, just so I can make sure that they don't respawn. I don't know if that affects their respawn rate all that much, but just in case I have to run around and be a hunter, I want to give myself that opportunity. So this guy has 9,600 health. So let's blow all the cooldowns again. Hopefully he doesn't have the similar mechanics that the other guy had. I'm going to pop all the beasts. All cooldowns are used. I think we might be alright, unless he comes up with something wild here. Nope, we're good. Okay. That's that. Grab these weapon racks, or burn them, should I say. Cornbread says hello. Well, hello again, Cornbread. How are you doing? How's your morning going, by the way? Jen says, I feel weird now. This is like the first time I got to notice a notice on live stream. I try as much as possible, Jen, to engage with chat. Sometimes I'll get a little behind, so you know, if I don't immediately respond, I'm not ignoring you. I will respond to chat, but sometimes I do get behind depending on what I'm doing in game. Kind of a case in point is when we're in caves, usually I try to, as much as possible, speed run my way through it. Is this the way we want to go? No, I think we kind of want to go this way. Okay. But yeah, generally speaking, I do try to respond as much as possible to chat. That was probably a bad pull. Alright, so we already blew the trap and silenced that before you can get it off. There we go. But yeah, no, Jen, feel free to chime in, and anyone else watching, say hi. Gauge back and forth in chat. That's what it's all about. It makes the Ironman challenge just that much more bearable for me. So, like I said, I'll try to respond where I can. Hopefully, trap the second guy. Okay, that'll work. Looks like my neighborhood's waking up. We've missed something. Drums of War. Uh-oh. I wonder if I have to kill that guy again. Shoot. I was supposed to grab that. Where are the drums? Okay, good. It's just here. Alright, that's done. Go ahead and turn this in here. And we'll get back on the bridge so that these guys don't respawn on top of us. So this is a good point for me to catch back up here. Min says, white gear, man, that's, that's harsh. It is. Believe it or not, there's been instances like now where we have gray gear that actually helps us more than white gear. So, like the bow. I don't think there's a white gun that will help us any more than this bow will at the moment. So, it starts getting real and you start noticing the difference when you get quest rewards that are, what do you call it? Green and blues. So you know it's the game's starting to get to a point where it's wanting you to put those items on and move from there. But you start noticing the difference a little bit at that point. Let's see. Declan says, "Wait, why didn't you show up on the challenge list?" Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting to upload my character, so I can do that. I'll try to do that after the stream, actually. But anyone can, you know, punch in a character and track them on the challenge. But I'll do that after the stream. I forgot to do that, actually. They try to encourage you to do it sooner than later, but I've actually just simply forgotten to do it. So I'll do that later today, unless someone beats me, of course. All right, silence that. Lava blast. Sip says, don't hand all the quests to the dude until you make your way out of there. Use him to help. Oh. Okay. That's a good point. Thank you, Sipit. I didn't even think of that. This is the other reason having chat during the Ironman challenge is so nice. You have people who are more experienced and remember stuff that you've forgotten. That really helps you out during the challenge itself. So we are at, it's 7:20. Servers go down at 8. But the timer starts at 7:45. Let's see if we can just skip by these guys. So what we're going to do is we just kind of hearth back at the 7:45 point, and I guess we'll just kind of talk and chat a little bit and get to know each other some and see if servers come back up within the 10-minute mark. If it looks like it's actually going to be down for an hour, we'll call it for the day, but we'll just see how far we get. It's not going to be too incredibly structured. Alright, so that's... I see him. Oh shit. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. Alright. I was going to trap one of them, but I guess that works out too. Alright, so this guy is the one that nearly killed us last time just because he has so many ads that spawn. This guy has 8,300 health as well. So alright, Sam's nearly dead. Alright, so let's see. The little guy has 1,600. Sam needs health. The other little guy has 1,600 as well, and then he has 8,300. Min says, what's the highest level has anyone gotten on the Ironman challenge? Currently, Minge, there's all of 20 110s out there, so there's, I guess that's a testament to the difficulty of the challenge, is that there's only been 20 people who've made it so far. So let's see, what's the clan says, check out the Arc Valdor's guy. He shows some things where you can get like 3 guardians to follow you anywhere in the Eastern Kingdoms, I think. Really? Well, that's interesting. That would be Now the only issue with that decline is that do those NPCs or those 3 guardians have a risk of taking your killing blow? Because your killing blow, which isn't in the rules, but because it's kind of more technical, but there is a definite red flagging if your killing blows to your ratio of combat to killing blows drops below 75%, and that's kind of just for that reason, or if you decide to group up with. Alright, so let's see if I can at least trap him. What I'm going to do is shoot him, that way when he does his jump it doesn't break the trap, and then he'll pull this guy. So let's pop Bestial Wrath and blow him up. Yeah, so that jump right there. So I'm going to... Alright, Chieftain's Call. I think he's going to spawn some ads, so we need to be ready to pull those off of him just in case. Alright, we're going back. I'm going to heal Sam up. He's going to call another guy. Another 2 guys, evidently. Alright, so this is turning into a royal mess. Let's go ahead and blow this guy up. And then we'll kill him. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. I don't know if I want to try that as a melee. That looks like that could be really rough. Alright, so our Hearthstone is up, so we'll go ahead and turn this in now. And we can just hearth out of here. Speak to, what's his name? There? Oh, it's in the cave, okay. Men said, what was that when the screen went red? That was the NPC. NPC scan and NPC overlay just kind of gives you a heads up and confirms that there's a rare spawn in the area. Let's see, clear defeated. So I think we have to go over here. Min says, I'm almost tempted to get the new WoW and have a go at this. I would. Minge, if you know, if it's money's not an issue, of course. I think Legion's been the best expansion so far, and I've played all of them in their current state. I've enjoyed Legion the most. It's just a good bit to do in it, but even that being said, I haven't played my main as much as I normally do, probably for about a month now, just because of the challenge. It's just, to me, it's that much fun. It is difficult, and I think a lot of people may not enjoy it, but I think a lot of people will enjoy it, if for whatever that's worth. It's but yeah, I would definitely give it a shot. And like I said earlier, if you do stream it or you put up condensed videos or whatnot, let me know and I'll keep track of it as well. Alright, so we're going to need to drop these items here, and we'll run over here. Sippy says, yeah, for a quest in Westfall, you get like 3 farmers to do one of the quests. Alright, one sec. We have a serious mode engaged here. Alright, so with that, I think what's gonna happen, I'm at 87% because I got randomly hit by something. Yeah, we need to break these guys apart. There we go. You get Sam to do a big attack, break this guy apart. I think that's going to happen once or twice more. So we'll just kind of do this as cleanly as possible here. And yeah, that's the last one. So he does it 4 times. Alright. That's done. Where do we turn this in at? Back over here, okay. Still in combat, so. Alright, picking back up with Sip It. You can zone out of the area, back in and out, and they will follow you when they normally leave you. Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about. When you go, like, in a... I think it's in a cave toward the northwestern end of Red Ridge, if I remember that correctly. Yeah, so we'll sneak past this guy, hopefully. where we can turn this quest in. Declan says, Madge, if you do, it's cheaper than before. Like you used to have to buy vanilla to start the pack, and then all X packs. But now every X pack up to Warlords of Draenor is only 20 bucks. Really? I didn't know that. That's good. I'm glad they did that. So you can buy all of Warcraft now up to Warlords of Draenor for 20 bucks. That's not bad. I'm glad they did that, just to make it more friendly for newer people to join. And then Legion's normal X pack. Min says, I last played when max level was 80. So what was that? That was Lich King, right? That was a good expansion. I think Mists of Pandaria is I think my second favorite expansion. It's probably a close favorite with Warlords of Draenor, but like I said, not Warlords of Draenor, but Mists of Pandaria and Wrath of the Lich King are probably second place, whereas Legion's by far my favorite. Now, oops, we need to go over here. So I think we'll just take a glider and work our way back down. So, and that's in this general direction. Waffle says, hey, Qyune, good morning. Good morning, Waffles. Welcome back. How are you doing? Let's go ahead and jump on the Water Strider here. How's your morning been going, Waffles? Min says, been playing vanilla on private servers not too long back. Oops, I'm lying. I played Mists of Pandaria. Okay. Zipper says, we forgive you. And Min says, 90. I like Mists of Pandaria. Like I said, it wasn't bad. I think the addition of the battle pets and the storyline I enjoyed. I know a lot of people couldn't get over the addition of the pandas, but I thought Mists of Pandaria was a really good expansion. I really like, for some odd reason, I really enjoyed Timeless Isle. I know a lot of people did not, but I think at that time I was playing on a PvP server. I think that was Illidan at that time. And the island was just a ton of fun. Declan says, my favorite that I've played is during his Wrath of the Lich King, then Legion, then Kata, then Pandaria, then WoD. Yeah, I think WoD's kind of the bottom tier for a lot of people. Which is too bad. The questing in Warlords of Draenor was very good, but a lot of the other stuff just was a little bit of a lackluster. Alright, so we'll go ahead and grab these two. I think there's another rare back here somewhere. They might have moved it, but let's see. The Twilight Trappers, they do hit pretty hard. I'm gonna try to... Yeah, the bad thing with the Trappers is that even though... Oh, that's why. Qyune, not Qyune, but Sam despawned, so... Alright, so we'll go ahead and eat since we're at 70%. Jingo says, Jin says, hey Qyune, how is your interface very different? I'm using 3-core add-ons. So this portion of it, what is going on here? Oh, I think Sam hit a trap. The health bars and whatnot, that's all Z-Pearl and how their placement. The mess of buttons right here is Bartender, and then Sexy Maps is my square map right here. So those are your 3 basic ones that I use. And then we'll shoot this guy as well. We're gonna have to eat again, just because for some odd reason the hunters tend to hit me rather than Sam. So Waffle says, "Going good, Qyune. How are you doing?" We're doing pretty good. It's Tuesday, so normally speaking the stream's going to be a little bit longer, but I think we're going to do something a little bit different this Tuesday and just kind of talk back. Now I ran over it. Talk back and forth with chat and just kind of get to know everyone a little bit. All I want to do was to click the little guy. But yeah, just kind of, since it's Tuesday and the servers are going down, maybe we'll talk back and forth for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then see if the server's back up, and if they are, we'll get back into it and finish out till 9. That way we kind of hit our 3-hour stream for the day. But if not, we'll call it today and we'll make up for lost time tomorrow. Let's see. Mr. Vit, good morning. How you doing? Welcome back. Leveling a 100 lock, a 103 Demon Hunter, and a new Death Knight. Nice. I'm kind of done with my leveling of my regular characters. If you can, use the Legion Invasions where applicable, because I think on average, from what I could see, is that each quest I did in the Legion Invasion events gave me about the equivalent of 6 normal quests. So if you do one full invasion, all 6 quests in an invasion, you should level at least once, I think. Right, so Sam needs a heal. How many more of these guys do we need to kill? One more. But yeah, I am 100% invasioned out just because most of my alts I leveled in, I guess, in Azeroth when the invasions were happening there. And then I didn't play them for a long time and leveled them up again when the invasion started in the Broken Shore. So just to give you an idea of how fast the invasions help level you up, I think a lot of the characters that have done pure invasions from 1 to 110 have about less than 24 hours of playtime on them, so it is a very fast leveling experience. Alright, so let's see if we can actually slip back here. Make sure we're not in combat. It says, what add-on do you use for the enemy health bars? Wow, there's a lot back here. Nope, we're in the wrong area. Let's go this way. That's also Z-Pearl. So Z-Pearl is for all the health bars that I have. That just makes it a little bit neater to look at. Cleaner, so I guess is what the term I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and take care of this guy. And then Austin says, Time of Slaw was my favorite patch of Warcraft ever. I really thought they did a good job implementing the Pandarian. Not sure why it got so much hate. I think, generally speaking, a lot of people just didn't care for the addition of pandas in the lore. Like I said, at that time, I didn't follow the lore all too much, but generally speaking, I've never really played a panda, but I didn't mind them all that much. It didn't change my gameplay at all any. Min says, gotta go do some chores for now, Qyune. I'm in the UK. See you later and good luck with the challenge, man. I appreciate that, Minj. It's just good to see you, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow if we don't see you again today. We'll go ahead and knock this out. James, thank you for the sub, and welcome to the stream. I think that's a new name. So, welcome. Alright, so this guy is free. We need to go back and turn in this quest here. How are you doing, James? Let's see. Sion says, I just saw that I have a mog from Old Nax. Just looked it up on Wowhead. Nice. Yeah, I kind of follow the black market auction house a little bit because I'm trying to get the plate gear, the Dreadnought set, but sometimes that goes for a little bit more than what I'm willing to pay. I think I saw the shoulders go for 700 something K on the black market, so like I said, that was a little bit more than what I was willing to pay. Hopefully next time they come around they'll be a little bit cheaper, but alright, so that is now 46. So man, 1,000 Needles has been good to us. Get a fight from Heartraiser to Twilight. Okay, so we'll just jump on him. But yeah, I'm kind of saving my pennies so that if the Zulian Tiger mount, the one that looks like a traditional tiger, pops up on the black market auction house, I'll be able to afford it. But excuse me, I think it's going to go for quite a bit, considering that the gold cap is now 10 million as opposed to it used to being 1 million. So I think it's going to go for a lot more than it used to about a year ago. Alright, so let's go ahead and quote-unquote deal with these guys. Let's see. Jin says, I'm going to go check out the other videos from Qyune for a while. Jin, they're all timestamped, so you can kind of go through and sift through them more easily because nobody wants to watch someone's old stream. So feel free to click through. I haven't timestamped the one from yesterday because it takes it a little while to upload at a higher quality. What in the world is going on here? Okay. Oh, okay, I get it. The little guys attack them and you have to go through that RP a little bit. Alright, so let's heal up Sam. That quest is done. I guess Sam needs to come back this way. There we go. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, nobody kind of wants to watch someone's old 3 to 12 hour stream from start to finish. So what I've done is each of my videos, I go back and timestamp all the more exciting events, whether it's a close call, whether we leveled, whether we died. So there's 3 of those. So yeah, I try to make those as friendly to sift through as possible. Let's see. Sion says, I just saw the mug. Okay, we did cover that. Sion says, I never bought from the black market auction house, like won an item. Yeah, you know, I guess toward the end is when you get your snipers, what they call them, more often than anything else. So let's see, we want to get on a water strider here. But I've won a couple items. I have 3 of the 8 Nax plates here. Whatever we call it. I forget what the name of it was. I think I said it a minute ago. But the yeah, I have 3 of the 8 pieces so far from old Nax. So maybe one day we'll be able to throw those on, and I don't expect to get those by the end of the year. It's kind of hard to find those, and like I said, I'm kind of saving for that Zulian Tiger Mount as well. James says, going great. Sorry, I'm on my TV watching. Just jumped on my mobile chat. Oh, welcome to the stream, by the way. James says tier 3. Okay, thank you. Yes. Yeah, the tier 3. I only have 3 of the 8 pieces on tier 3, but James, welcome to the stream. I think that's the first time I've seen your name, so I do appreciate you stopping by. Let's see, we'll go ahead and I think this guy's going to give us 2 quests for what looks like the rest of 1,000 needles. Oh, you know what we should do? Let me do that real quick. So one way I kind of track my progress throughout the zone is if you go to quest, and then we're in Kalimdor, and then we go to even if you've already completed it, it'll show your current character's progress. So 1,000 needles, you click on that, and we've done 54 of the 60 quests here, so we're probably 90% of the way through, if I've done my math right. Let's see, Waffle says, do you like Diablo 3, Qyune? I played it for about a month. It was, Diablo 3, in my opinion, was extremely addicting, but then you know, once you got max level and once you've kind of understood how the gear mechanics work, I was less enamored with it. It was still good. It was still fun, but it seems like you could. I don't know. It was more addicting during the leveling phase than it was at top end, if that makes any sense. For some reason, me and my brother were both new at it, so we played together, and you know, we were playing for 6, 7, 8 hours at a time. But yeah, once we got to max level and we geared up a little bit, I think the scaling on the gear works a lot different than it does in Warcraft. Warcraft is kind of an addition based gear style. So for example, if you have 200 strength and you get a piece with 50 strength, you know, you kind of have 250 strength, but it seems like it multiplied in and Diablo 3. It multiplied against itself. So for example, if you have 200 strength and then you get an item that has 50 strength, it's almost like you get I guess I shouldn't be doing math when I'm trying to quest, huh? 200 and then 50, like, you know, 1,000 or 10,000 strength, depending on how it's multiplied, whether there's a underlying multiplier or whatnot. But you know, in that sense, it was alright. The RNG wasn't too bad. It's a lot more, you know, pull the RNG lever and see if you can get the gear. But like I said, it was fun. But I'm not too big of a fan of the overuse of RNG, if that makes any sense. So it kind of died out once I got to max level. Let's see, let me catch up here. Waffle says, do you like Diablo 3? And then James, if you don't want mobs hitting you, send in your pet first, then smack it. I try to do that, but then I just get impatient. For lack of better explanation there. Kill command also has a 7-second cooldown, 7.5-second cooldown. So sometimes the mob will die before it resets, and then when I pull the second mob, it's not there, and I've already fired away my Cobra shot. Alright, so let's see. We need to be... These guys have 6,200 health. Oh, okay, we're supposed to use the mask here. Okay. I'm glad I saw that beforehand. Jen says, thanks. I always wondered what it sounded like when others say Jen. Nice. Let's see, I played up to 2 years ago. Main is the hunter on US Bloodhoof. Oh, really? Okay. So you're on the North American side as well. You said a hunter, right? Now, did you do more of the raiding style, James, or you more, what do I need to do here? Talk to this guy. Or trick him. There we go. Or were you more so PvP? I'll go ahead and grab this guy over here since he's here. Sion says, I think they should bring back old Nax or just bring the full mog, since at the end everyone will still have the set. You know, it might be really feasible that they do that for, what do you call it, your time walking. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did that. The Nax from Wrath of the Lich King kind of give you a rough idea of what, you know, it's a, what do you want to call it? A derivation, it kind of comes from the old Nax gear, but in a lot of sense it's a little bit different as well. So if you want the original stuff, at this point in time, only the black market auction house has it available for you. So yeah, I do get what you mean. I kind of wish that they gave, you know, on that same boat, should I say, our line of thought, I do kind of wish that you could find an alternate way to get your high-end PvP transmog set. You know, if you're in the elite class or you're in the top, what is it, 10%, 5% of the PvP bracket for a season, you get the pretty unique transmog set. So it would be kind of nice if they offered an alternate way of getting it, but with using the same amount of work. You know what I mean? Like maybe if you did prestige 30 or something, you know, that's just a random example, random number, but just allowing people to kind of invest time if they didn't have the skill set to be able to get that gear when it first came out. Just give them an alternate means of chasing gear within the game. I think there's a lot of stuff within the game that's just no longer available, that if it was there, they'd give people more things to do. But I know a lot of guys who actually get that gear do not want other players to have it, which is for good. I mean, I understand the line of thought. I just think there's a lot of content within the game that could be utilized. Disguise is dropping off. Be careful. Okay. I think that happened last time. So we'll go back and turn this in. It's 7:47. and I haven't seen any indication from the servers that servers are going down. That's kind of interesting. So we might get our money's worth out of this and go all 3 hours. We need to go this way. So I think we have to just pretty much grind our way through here. Mitch says, I love PvP. I haven't done too much, especially on a serious note, since Wrath of the Lich King. I did climb the prestige ladder up to 7, but I think it's going to go up to 17, so I really want to finish that ladder. Steven, welcome to the stream, and thank you for the sub. I really want to finish that ladder at least on 1 tomb. Preferably my DK by the end of Legion. We'll see how that works out. So we're trying to figure out what we want to do in the afternoons for those that are new to the channel, and we might do a rotation of PvP, transmog runs, mount runs, maybe some pet battle farming runs, some LFR stuff. I don't think we're short any amount of content, but it's just figuring out what most people enjoy watching in the afternoons who are more so interested in the Ironman challenge as well. Let's see, Don says, I'm back. Had to change my phone, or had to charge my phone. Welcome back, Don. How's your afternoon going? Miko says, hi. Good morning, Miko. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. That's the new name as well, I think. So yeah, James, going back to what you were saying earlier as far as attacking, when these things die in faster than 7 seconds, for some odd reason, I just kind of automatically hit the next thing. So, but you are 100% right. If I send Sam in there first, I would end amateur hour and probably not take so much damage. Alright, so with that, we'll loot that. Kill this guy as well. Jane says, oh, PvE horde, sorry. In vanilla, WoW was very high in rating guild till Burning Crusade. Yeah, you know what? I think I didn't really get into rating too much until Wrath of the Lich King as well. But I heard the rating in Burning Crusade was extremely tough. Is that true, or is it was it less than vanilla? James says, I miss vanilla. I hope they open a legacy server. You know, I've had mixed thoughts on legacy servers. One's kind of like the business side of me considering it, and one's the player in me. Let me catch up with chat. Jen says, well, I'm going to go now. Good luck to 110. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Hopefully we see you tomorrow around the same time. Austin says, I'm online. My chat says 12. Are you in combat log? I don't think so. I don't think so. But no, James, to kind of touch on legacy servers. Oh, we just got the notification. Server shut down in 10 minutes. So, let me see. We're going to play it safe and hearth back. So let's go ahead and... James, I'll come back to legacy servers in just a sec. I know I keep starting that thought and getting sidetracked. But we're going to take this item. If you're new to the Ironman challenge, you can use the auction house, and I highly encourage you to do so. Just the gold gives you the opportunity to buy goblin gliders. It makes purchasing your mount easier. For the most part, you can kind of get the gold through questing, but it just makes it easier. So go ahead and do a gear check, make sure we didn't accidentally equip anything. If you do accidentally equip something, you'll fail the challenge, so just be careful. And yeah, let's go ahead and hearth back. But yeah, alright, so as servers are going down, so legacy servers, in my opinion, are, I think they should implement them. And I say that with 2 lines of thought. One, and I've gone back and forth, but I think I've come to the final thought that I think legacy servers should be implemented. One, because there's a lot of people who, let's start out this way. Vanilla Warcraft and Warcraft and Legion are 2 very good games, but they're very good games and for different reasons. You know what I mean? Like vanilla Warcraft was more immersion based, so everything took a greater amount of time, but in that, what you did get was very valuable to you, if that makes any sense. You know, if you put in a lot of time to get something, whatever that item is, it means more to you. And I think people, in combination with the size of the realms where they knew each other on a name by name basis, is a lot more attractive to a lot of players. But Legion is kind of a shift in a different direction. There's a lot of content. You know, Legion, when we go into this expansion, we didn't lose Cataclysm, we didn't lose Warlords of Draenor or Pandaria. We still have all that content, so there's a ton of to do within the game. And I think Legion just, in the previous expansion, the paradigm shift has gone to more or less get as much content as you can done within the given amount of time. A lot of people who play the game now don't have that available time to drop 2, 3, 4 hours into anything for a set amount of time, if that makes any sense. You know, if you're going to do a raid, or if you need to farm Timber Mall rep to get that one toy that, you know, everyone didn't have, it took an insane amount of time. But you know, I think Legion's just shifted to a different type of player base. So taking that information and going back, I think vanilla legacy servers would give players the option and ability to go back and play what everyone talks about, and experience what a lot of players have missed and never had the opportunity to play. Now, the other reason is the business side of it. So if you remember, maybe 2 or 3, maybe not, maybe 1 or 2 expansions ago, the gold selling market from third parties was insane. Everybody was getting spammed in trade chat. You were getting your whispers. You were getting just inundated with a ton of gold spam. You know, people trying to sell gold for real life money. But I think Blizzard single-handedly killed that when they made the token available to purchase via money on the auction house. So, you know, you could purchase the token with gold or with money, depending on which one you had more excess of. So with that, I think legacy servers would do the same thing. I think if people had official legacy servers, you wouldn't have to fight every other private server that popped up, because Blizzard is in a pretty active fight to push against them. And in all fairness, it seems like there's a lot of people who are interested in that content only. They don't want to do Legion, and you know, to each their own. Legion personally for me is my favorite, but a lot of people still have a favorite that vanilla's their favorite. So, you know, I think in implementing a legacy server, a vanilla legacy server, would kind of help them on 2 realms. One, it would tone down the need for private servers. People would be more apt to officially make an account on something that they know is not going to get shut down. That's one of the main reasons I've never messed with legacy or private servers, is because there's no real guarantee. You know what I mean? If the guys that are running it can't pay the server fees, or if for some odd reason Russia or Germany, wherever those servers are hosted, decides to entertain Blizzard's cease and desist, then you know it's going to shut them down. Also, there's no guarantee at what time, you know, later in the, say, if a private server pops up, there's not going to be any guarantee, say, that after a year or 2 of being in excess or in running, that they're going to say sell 160s. And you know, there's just no guarantee with that. But I think you have a little bit more confidence and understanding if people can officially go to a legacy server in Warcraft. So with that being said, I think they have to time it right. I think if they introduce a legacy server now, they're shooting themselves in the foot, because it's going to be new. It's going to be new content for a lot of people. Like, it's old content, but there's so many players that haven't played it in that state that it's still going to be considered new content. So if they drop a legacy server in the middle of their 77-day cycle patches, I think they're competing with themselves and they'll shoot themselves in the foot. Maybe if there's a content drought between the last patch of Legion and the next expansion, that would probably be the ideal time to drop it. That way people can trial it out while Legion's kind of, you know, plateaued a bit. So that's kind of my 2 cents for that. Let me catch back up with chat, because that was a long speech about legacy servers. I'll probably go into that again, because we've been talking on the chat about legacy servers for quite some time, and listening to other people's side of the story and their opinions and whatnot, I've kind of tailored mine to what it is now, and that's kind of where I stand at the time being. But Sion says vanilla had the hardest raid in Warcraft history, so I think vanilla was the hardest. Yeah, they had the hardest. They had hard raids, but at the same time, the raids, in my opinion, the raids today are so much better than they used to be in vanilla Warcraft, that, you know, a lot of your mechanics that you have today make the fights so much more fun, whereas a lot of them in vanilla Warcraft was more or less tank and spank, and can you survive whatever it is, whether it's the 10-second curse or 10-minute curse from Prometheus and BWL. I think that's it. But guys, just so those who are chiming in now, servers are going down. We have all of 45 seconds, so we're going to do something different this Tuesday, where we kind of just interact with chat and go back and forth, and maybe people who haven't played the game or learn something new. Maybe I'll learn something new, but we're just going to kind of talk back and forth for about 5 or 10 minutes, get to know each other, and if the servers come back in about, like I said, 10 minutes or so, we'll get back into it. But if it looks like they'll be down for an hour, we'll call it for the day. But for the most part, feel free to say hi, chime in, and like I said, we'll just kind of get to know each other for a little bit. I know mostly I log in and we do our thing, and I'll go ahead and type this in. So let's say Tuesday live chat. There we go. And I'll go ahead and put the rules up. Oops. I do that from time to time. There we go. Let's see here. Ryan says, hi Qyune, aim to Qyune's son. Nice. I see what you're doing there. Yeah, it is pronounced Qyune, by the way. I know for some odd reason. I've heard Qyune, Qyune, Qyune. So it is Qyune, just for whatever reason. James says, a 40-man raid was very hard. Yeah, James, I think that was sometimes the hardest part, was finding 40 people who could stay for, 3, 4, or 5 hours and not have disconnection issues, not have Warcraft crashing issues. Kendrick says, what is the name of the add-on you use? Please help me. Kendrick, so my basic UI add-ons are, I'm drawing a blank here. Bartender for the mess of buttons I have at the bottom, ZPerl for my unit frames, and then Sexy Map for my map. And it just allows me to pretty much change my UI any way I want. There is an add-on called Move Anything, so there is that, and some people will use that a little bit more often than the other add-ons, but those are the 3 I typically use. Don says, Qyune, you can call me Trey. Alright, Don, I might go back and forth, but I'll try to remember Trey is the name used. I'm going to write that down because my memory's almost similar to that to qualify as a goldfish. So Don of Gamers, I'll call you Trey, if I can remember that. But let's see. Laton, what's going on? It says, hi my dude. How you doing, Laton? Good morning. How you been? How's your morning going, by the way? James says, I started my account January 4th, 2005. Really? I think I started playing about a year, maybe a little more than a year after Legion came out. So, sorry, not Legion. Vanilla came out. So I'm probably about a year or so behind you. I I didn't even know Warcraft was coming out in beta, so there is that. Don says, "Hey, Laton, what's going on?" James says, "But whether they will start to have to put your base in the subscription if they charge to put on legacy service." Yeah, James. So that's the other thing. I'm kind of makes me wonder if legacy servers is a thing, because on some extent there's going to be a monetary input into legacy servers, and whether that is just people going back and recoding, whether it's purchasing another server just so people can have a separate legacy server. There is going to be some level of a monetary cost, and we can argue what those numbers are all day long, but at the end, the question is, on a business level, how is Blizzard going to make that money back? And part of me thinks that they would offer a subscription just for legacy servers. I guess that's an option. To be honest, I don't see them offering legacy servers or access to it with your current subscription rate, if that makes sense. It seems like they need some method of either... Now, I take that back. They might. Maybe that's an idea, because if they can pull people in for legacy servers and have that give them access to Warcraft in its current state, and maybe that's a viable line of thought, but excuse me, I think at some way or another they need to make up the cost of investment on a business level, which I think that's what it comes down to. I think there's so many people, even within Blizzard, who would like to see legacy servers pop up. I think at the end of the day it's going to come to a line of reasoning that, is this a good business venture? Which I think Activision still owns Blizzard, right? So I think that's just something that has to go up the corporate ladder as far as an idea suggestion. Let's see. Sipa says, yeah, how did your name come about? So let's see. When did I come with Qyune? Wait a minute. Moody says, "Yum spaghetti." Oh, you're having spaghetti too. I had spaghetti for breakfast last time, actually, yesterday, Moody. So, I don't know, do you put cheese on your spaghetti? Because I recently did that, and man, that made a world of difference. If you put cheese on your spaghetti, takes it from a 7 or 8 to a 10 automatically. James says, we rated 5 or 6 hours a night, and ended game rating in WoW. Yeah, see, I think that's what made that style of rating the hardest, is, like I said, finding those 40 players that could actually stay those 5 or 6 hours, and then, because it wasn't like it is now, where if you lose player number 40 and 39, you can't go into some sort of LFR system and look for someone. Someone had to actually go back into the city and post in trade chat, hey, we're looking for a caster, or we're looking for a healer, or we need a second tank. I think that was one of the harder aspects of raiding than the actual raid content itself. Don says, Qyune, did you know that my parents own a restaurant? I did not. What kind of restaurant do they own, Don? James says, if they charge $99 a month, they more than likely bring back many vanilla Warcraft players. I think so too. I think that's a fair price. Would a lot of people switch it from where they are now? I would say if they charged anywhere from $5 to $10 per month for access to vanilla Warcraft servers, I think there would be a lot of people who would do that. And I think I would even try it, to be honest. I think I would give, just to kind of experience that content again. I do remember a lot of things that, in vanilla that I didn't care for, so I wouldn't be, personally for me, too apt to go back. But, if there was an opportunity to, say, do the Ironman challenge on a vanilla server, that would be a lot of fun. I think it'd be a lot more difficult too. The XP necessary to travel that far in the expansions is, or not in the expansions, but throughout the content in the zones was quite immense. And you generated less XP per killing mobs and per quest. So let's see. Moody says cheese is amazing on spaghetti and with some garlic bread. Absolutely. See, at least you know how to do it right. That's exactly how we do it here. Austin says mozzarella and garlic bread. Oh yeah, that is. I'm one of those people where I think I grew up on bowls of cereal, but as I've kind of been on my own, it's progressed to more substantial stuff. I spent 4-5 months living in the Philippines, and we had rice for breakfast. Rice with whatever, rice with chicken, rice with everything. It's the Philippines. So ever since then, having eaten cereal for breakfast is just like maybe an hour or two later I'm hungry again. So I guess my morning meals are a little bit more substantial than a bowl of cereal now. James says, we were doing server first. Our guild was large enough to run 2 raids some nights. Really? Wow. What server were you on at the time? Is it the same one you're on now? My first server that we started on was Wildhammer, and that was a PvP realm. Still is, I guess. And yeah, honestly I don't remember too much more anything noteworthy within Wildhammer. It was pretty quiet for the most part, and I think it's still kind of quiet as a PvP server can be. Let's see. James Stib says, not meaning to ran on, but the name. Oh, the name. So Qyune is just I started that back in Cataclysm, and I want to say when I played on the Alliance side, I had a druid called Moonbound, but everyone on the realm called me Moon. So I just kind of combined the two names from the two different sides, the Horde side and the Alliance side, and you get Qyune Moon. And Qyune was kind of a, I guess you'd want to call it onomatopoeia for rune, since it was a DK name. It was supposed to, kind of go with the whole rune, because the runic power that DK is generated and the runes that they use. So Qyune was the easiest thing to type in, so that's kind of how it came about. Nothing too glorious or anything about it, but that is kind of the origin of the name itself. What about Sip It? That's an interesting name. Where did that come from? Or is it Seapot? Sip It. Don says, I don't know what it is, but it has fruit shakes, Italian sodas, ice cream, all-day breakfast, coffee shop, vegan food, Italian food, Cajun food. Oh, okay, so your parents just have one of those a little bit of everything kind of deal, right? I'm more of an Italian. Cajun food and Thai food, generally speaking, are too hot for me. So, I guess that comes with the nature of having the Irish blood I have. But yeah, I tend to, if I do go to a Thai restaurant, I usually get the non-spicy version, which kills it for some people, but that's all I can eat. For me, when you're halfway through your plate and you can't tell if the food's physically hot or if the spices are burning you, that's too hot for me. So that's kind of my stance. It's all I can do to eat a little bit of wasabi sauce with sushi. James says Bloodhoof, but guild has moved to Area 51. So are you still in the same guild, James, or have you moved since as well? Because I think if I go back, I can't remember if you said a different round. Let me take a look here. Yeah, I think it might have dropped off. Oh, you're on Bloodhoof. Okay. Oh, okay, so they moved and you ended up staying on Bloodhoof. I gotcha. Says, yes, putting cheese on spaghetti makes it even more awesome. Have a nice day today. Dominic, welcome to the stream. So, for those who are chiming in at this moment, and maybe even for the first time, the Warcraft servers are down. So we're just kind of taking a minute in chat to say hi to each other, catch up, and maybe if our servers come back up in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we'll get back into it. If not, we'll call it for the day. But generally speaking, I kind of just want to make it more of a community thing to do the Ironman challenge, watch it, and just have fun. So not to take anything too awful serious, I suppose. Let's see. Big Ben says, "Hey, what's going on, Big Ben? Welcome back. How are you doing? How's your morning going?" Don says, "My name came from just being a gamer, and I started my YouTube channel on a Dawn of a Game, so I just named it Dawn of Gamers." Very nice. It's kind of like the guys that name their character soda bottle or something else that they have sitting on their desk. James says, "I went to Area 51, then moved back after burning out on raiding, and did a server first on Area 51 as well." Really? Very nice. So, James, are you raiding now, or do you... I can't remember if we talked about this already, if you said you were actually had taken a break. Oh, you played up to 2 years ago, that's right. So, are you considering coming back, or kind of lurking on the edges there, debating whether or not to do it? Legion, in my opinion, and this is, I don't know if you kind of have the same mindset, because a lot of your Warcraft players who have been around for a long time are more in the immersion, prefer more the immersion side, but in my opinion, I think Legion's been the best expansion so far. So James says, "But I do want to come back now." I would, James. Seems like you have most of the expansions already, so yeah, come on back. It's pretty good. They're about to normalize the artifact power, the artifact knowledge. So there's a lot of catch-up mechanics coming in 7.3, which are, I think it's going to start either August 29th or a week after, is what people are saying. I don't think there's been an official Blizzard announcement yet, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of catch-up mechanics within Legion, so yeah, I would consider it. I'd actually take it as a serious consideration. It's been a lot of fun. Almost too much. I spend too much time playing. Sipit says, "The combination of Horde and Alliance to create you." Sipit was just my name my dad made when I was like 9, so I got a PS3 online. I don't really know how he came up with it. My first name I came up with was Dethomra, if I can say that right. A randomized name for my first Warcraft character. Incidentally, Night Elf Hunter. Nice. Yeah, the random name generator can be fun from time to time if you can't think of anything. And I've actually, oddly enough, I've run across players who had broke the terms and services of naming their character, and I think if you break it too often, a Warcraft, the GM will actually make a name for you. So heads up, just in case you have something that is questionable. They have all options to actually change your name as to a randomized name. So heads up for that. Don says, "See if the server's up, please." Alright, give me 1 sec. I'll catch up with chat here. Let's see. James says, "I may not be liked for saying this, but the game has been dumbed down tons. Sorry to say it." Yeah, James, I think I know what you're saying. I think it's just terminology is what gets people sometimes. Maybe rather than dumbed down, because like you said, it's not necessarily people who play now are dumb, but it has been simplified, and in some respects, it's even been made more efficient. A lot of people had, let's take for example, talents and abilities classes had, you know, what Blizzard was running into is at every expansion, every time someone maxed out, the typical in-game tradition is to give someone that max level spell that makes them all the more powerful, and I think they did a good job in Legion mitigating that a little bit and making that your next attack or your power come from your weapon. So that's kind of a neat way that they've kind of worked their way around it. But what they were seeing was that, you know, Warrior had 3 different stances, and then, you know, I think they maxed up having almost 60 abilities by the at the max, at the highest capability, at the maybe level 80 or 90. They were kind of had too many abilities, and what was happening was that people weren't using them. You know what I mean? Like, your high-end raiders are always going to use, they're always going to be your 99th percentile or higher, and they're going to make uses of that. But what Blizzard was finding was that the average Joe, the average Jane, was just not using it, and they weren't even putting it on their toolbar. So I think to kind of circumvent that and to bring a little bit of balance into the game and manageability, they included a lot of those abilities in current abilities, as well as just got rid of stuff people didn't really necessarily need anymore. I think I can't really think of an example, but you know, you had, say, certain different attacks, but if you had a more powerful attack that utilized the same amount of resources, nobody's going to use the first type of attack, if that makes any sense. So I think they try to streamline that a little bit. Now, I guess on the same coin of, say, dumbing down or simplifying, I do think they kind of did themselves an injustice with XP. I know that they want people to get to the end content as quickly as possible, but generally speaking, I still think there's a tremendous amount of content that they have right now in the game that a lot of people just never experience. And you know, if you're, say, level 100, you have no reason to go back to Deathless. You're not going to get any sort of gear benefit. You might get an achievement, but generally speaking, I do wish that they would either kind of not slow down, but either increase the amount of XP needed to level in zones, or use the technology in Legion where the zone scales to your character, and then kind of use that to provide a means of going back to Deathless and you know, killing mobs at your level. And it's even more beneficial if you have a friend who's just joining the game and you have a max level. You two can go do the same content without butchering the new guy's experience. So let's see. That was also a long run. So let's catch back up with chat. The client says, "Rip, didn't realize the servers were down and trying to log in." All right, so let's see if we can pull this back up. Like I said, sometimes the servers are down for the whole hour. Other times they're down for 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, still down. Hey, live chat. Huh, TLC, look at that, nice. James says, but it happens to every game. Yeah, in a sense it does, especially with games that last as long as Warcraft does. I guess I'll maximize this so it looks better, and there we go. It does. You know, as developers want people to enjoy their new content more so than the old content, yeah, it does happen like that. Don, I think the servers are still down, but Declan says, oh yeah, many of my friends have gotten the name forced to something like player MXTYS. Yeah, a lot of it's kind of your what do you want to call it? You know, if you're a night elf, it kind of gives you a more night elf-like name, or if you're an orc, it gives you a more orc-like name. So, yeah. Let's see. I guess at one point, oh, Gravity says, this is on my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Gravity. How old are you? Yeah, I did miss that actually. Let's see. The clown says, but they seem to just let me change the name if it's too bad. Yeah, and that was the other thing is I've always kind of tried to name my characters something unique, just so it kind of doesn't break the mold of the game. James says the hardest thing to kill in PvP was the 3130 Feral Resto Druid. Oh, you know, I do remember that. And even more so than that, I remember the rogues going around and just having a field day in the battlegrounds. I think it got so bad that they actually changed that during vanilla. They did a live patch, not live, but they did an update to kind of tone down the rogues a bit. But rogues had an excellent run at some point during vanilla. I do remember seeing a rogue with no gear and butter knives kill a T2 or T3 mage, so rogues had it good. Sion says, I'll be right back. Alright, we'll be right here. Don says, Trey says, definitely Resto is hard to fight against in PvP. It is. Even more so for me, I have a hard time killing bears. As a Frost DK, I don't know which attack it is, but man, sometimes they wreck me for like 30 or 40% of my health, and I'm not sure what that attack is, but it seems like it's on a somewhat short timer. So James says the 2 and 3 day Alternate Valleys. I do remember that, and I do miss that. Oh man, the battles where you would spend about 6 hours in an Alternate Valley, and then have to log out for whatever reason, come back the next day, and they're still going at it on one of the bridges. So yeah, I do miss that. I wish they would somehow bring that back, but I don't think it's going to mesh too well with today's style of gaming. Everything's kind of designed to be more quickly. I don't think the PvP today is tuned as well as it could be in relation to the PvE. Let's say, for example, in PvE, you can go and blast your way through a Mythic Plus and very possibly come out with a much better gear. And that's important for 2 points. In PvE, if you get an item that's, say, 920, you get a 920 item, and you're currently rolling around with an 880 item, you're definitely going to see some level of difference. I think where they lose that is when they go into PvP and they normalize everyone. I think the normalization is fine for your competitive PvP, but it does take the fun out of it and getting gear and getting some sort of power behind your character if you can't use it. You know what I mean? There's just, if I get, let's say I'm getting PvP items and I have an 880 gear and I get a 920 gear, it's not as big of a change, and probably hardly noticeable after it's been normalized once you're into a battleground. So I think that kind of stings a little bit when you get a gear and all you're interested is in PvP. The other thing is that the randomization of PvP gear is kind of rough. I think they should fine-tune that. I think the idea is to base it off the D3 model, where you kind of get random bits of loot and you can tailor them as you want. But the thing is, and the main difference I think, is your time investment. D3, you can go through a, what do you call them, a portal? What are those portals called? Anyway, you get a rift. You can go through a rift, and that takes you 10-15 minutes maybe, depending on the one you get. And you get a bunch of gear. You don't get just one piece, you get a bunch of gear, and either one of them may or may not be an upgrade, and then you get some form of currency, and then you get something else. I think 2 forms of currency really, and you can roll your use that currency and that gear to see if you can upgrade your gear that you just got, if none of it was an upgrade. But with the current style, I think they try to just take that method over. But currently, let's take Warzone Gulch for example. At a bare minimum, if you don't cap the flags, that's a 20-minute game. And some games and some battlegrounds maybe even longer. For example, the shore one, I forget, Stone of the Ancients. something of the ancients, but short of the ancients. But that could be 25, 30 minutes. You know, if you're spending that amount of time, only to maybe get a gear you need, and it might be the spec you want, and they have the Strand of the Ancients. Thanks, guys. Strand of the Ancients. You know, it's if it takes you that much time, and you may or may not get a piece of gear, and you're definitely not getting one if you lost, it just makes it hard to invest your time into PvP because there's not much reward, and frankly, there's even a risk that you'll come out with nothing. So, and that's stacked on top of the RNG of, you know, if versatility is a terrible stat for you, or if crit's a terrible stat for you, and the gear item you get is all crit, then, you know, that's also hard to get excited about. So you could technically get a 920 piece of gear that's, after it's normalized, does you absolutely no good, or even hurts you once it's, you know, once you've gotten into another battleground. Running on the same line of thought, I think that the fact that you spend 30 seconds possibly in a graveyard when the battleground's only 20 to 30 minutes is something that's unnecessary these days. There's really no reason for you to have to spend so much time. You know, if you have bad luck and you're killed 4 times in Warsong Gulch, that's 2 minutes in the graveyard. That's 10% of the battleground. You know, if for example you don't cap the flags and it goes its full duration. So I think if they could speed up the battlegrounds and make it more of a fast style of fighting, a fast style of rezzing, you know, they could implement the loot system they have right now, but they just have a loot system that doesn't work for the current mechanical form of what the PvP system is, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I've noticed, and kind of why I've dropped out of PvP in general, because I can go do 2 timed mythics and, you know, have a decent chance at 2 or 3 pieces of gear, versus I could go to Battlegrounds for an hour and come out with absolutely nothing to show for my time. So I think time is what's essential here, and what the Blizzard team should consider when developing PvP a little bit further. Let's see, Gravity says, turned 11. Well, happy birthday again, and turned 11. That is what, 6th grade, right? 6th or 7th grade, right? James says, in full tier 3 we would face roll in Battlegrounds. That was all inspiring to see when it happened. When you saw a guy with that dreadnought suit on, you know you had a timer on your head, and you know that was the kind of neat thing you saw. Whoops. In back then, but also at the same time, you know, kind of taking that gear that you've earned and using it in PvP. Let's see, servers are up. That is a long name. I don't think that's Sky. I think that's someone else. Let's see. It says servers are up, so let's see if that's the case. But Nicholas, welcome by the way. Let's see if we have. Oh, look at that, guys! We're back, and we still have 30 minutes at least for today's stream. Nice. Let's see. Let me catch up with chat, and then we'll log right back in. Bonna says the RNG for gear is a bit wonky. I agree. Yeah, I think if they could make it more relatable to the time you invest into the game, it wouldn't be as bad. But they either have to increase the drop chance, or, you know, even if you're unlucky enough to get a couple bad teams, or even if you get good teams that are just outgeared by the other team or outplayed, you know, you can spend an hour or 2 in the game and get nothing for it, as opposed to someone else in your guild or someone else on your team spending 30 minutes and coming out with 3 pieces from a Mythic Plus or an LFR or something like that. Bonuses, but I've gone through and received a just gold or yeah, getting gold and artifact power for PvP is rough, especially when you consider that I think you can't have concordance in your weapon, can you, for PvP? Which is another thing. It's just like you're almost encouraged. I don't know. I don't want to say not to gear up your character, but in a way you are, because if you can't maximize your weapon, and if the attack power that you're getting from the battlegrounds doesn't even help your weapon because the weapon's capped within the battleground, you know, what are we doing with our time? Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can get back in here. Corey says, I've been playing Legion since it came out, and I got my first legendary on my main like a week ago, and I do World Quest, PvP, and Mythics every day, so I don't like RNG. You know, from a programmer side, business side, I can understand why there's a little bit of RNG. You know, I think RNG should only help a player. Alright, so let's close this down. You know, for example, where do we need to go? I think we need to go back here. You know, a lot of people have the opinion that all RNG is bad. I don't think that's the case as long as, say, your raids are designed for your baseline gear. Say if baseline's item level 900, if they tone the raids for item level 900 gear, that means any sort of additional RNG where you actually get a secondary or tertiary stat, or you get, say, 5 item level upgrades, say to 905 or 910. I think RNG should only help you, not necessarily hurt you. So, you know, if the raids are tuned to, say, item level 910 gear, and you're getting 900 gear, and that's kind of a disadvantage. So, but I do understand the RNG and the concept behind it. If you can get just a little bit better gear, then just for luck of the draw, then I don't mind it. But the RNG for the PvP is on a totally different bracket. You know, it's if you lose, even if you spent 20 minutes, you get nothing. And if you win, you might get something. So you know, it's not an equal trade in my opinion, especially when you compare it to the guys who are plowing through the PvE content. And I forgot all about the weapon. You know, that's really considering if you have if they nerf the weapon such that you don't get concordance or anything else. Alright, so we're going to try to grind our way back into the area where we were. Like I said, we're going to have at least 30 minutes here, so we'll keep plowing along. Declan says, I wonder if anyone wants to add me to Battle.net. There's that. Okay. Yeah, my Battle.net is Qyune 1285. So a lot of times I'm AFK. So if I don't reply, that's often why. I will try to get back to you, but generally speaking, I AFK quite a bit. Alright, so we need to kill this guy. I'm going to go ahead and burn a couple cooldowns here. And I'll go ahead and grab this, accept that. And that is decline, so I'll make sure I put a note in there. Thank you, by the way. Let's see, Gravity sent you an invite as well. And the Haggerty's still up. I still have the rules up. Thank you, Haggerty. I'm glad you got my back. That'd have been terrible if I had that up for another 20 30 minutes. Thank you. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab this guy. I don't think we have another quest out here. Let me check. We do. I don't remember what it is though. go ahead and tame that guy down, calm him down. Corey says, plus I'm usually mostly PvP, but I mean PvP doesn't get much gear, which is unfortunate in my opinion. I think PvP could be a lot of fun. What do I need to do here? Oh, okay, it just wasn't on my map earlier. I gotcha. Alright. So I'm gonna have to go back where we just came from a little bit. That's weird. I wonder why that wasn't tracking. It might have been because we logged out. Alright, so we'll come up here, kill this guy, and then take this little item. Haggerty says, no problem. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's going to be a highly blocked view there. But yet, no, I'm hoping that PvP shines through a little bit, especially toward the end of Legion, maybe even into the next expansion. It looks like they've had a change of lead designers, so hopefully the next guy up will be a little bit more understanding as far as time investment and the return investment as far as putting in time into a battleground and getting some level of gear or items back. And of course balancing that with the inevitable RNG that's within Warcraft. Alright, so that's 2 items. I think, if I remember, we have a rare back here somewhere. I think. I might be wrong. Huh. Alright. Sometimes, I can't remember if he was near the wall or near the ocean here. Alright. Yeah, like I said, rares at this point kind of give us maybe a third to a half of our what a quest would give us, so there's no real reason to spend 10 minutes looking for a rare. If you can go about 30 seconds out of your way and see if something's there, that's alright, but yeah, the return investment for XP and time just isn't quite there at this level. Bana says, does it seem they are separating the PvP and PvE communities? For me, it seems like they're trying to merge them a little bit. They're making versatility have some sort of balance value, but I think a lot more than it used to be, because you used to have, what was it? Some sort of resistance. It was a secondary stat that was only applied to PvP gear, and it didn't have any value in PvE. But I think now anything you use in PvE or PvP kind of crosses the realm a little bit. So I think they're trying to merge them as much as possible. That way, you know, if you want to level or gear up via PvP and then you want to raid, you know, you can do that. But purely from a time perspective, that would not be the wisest choice. But as far as the gear itself, I think it does translate pretty well into a PvP scenario. PvE scenario, should I say. Let's go across over here. Resilience, that's right. That's what it was. Yeah, and that used to have no value. I think they've done away with it altogether. The secondary stats in PvP now kind of contribute to your PvE as well, so they have bridged that a little bit. Sneaky says, hello, Qyune. What's going on, Sneaky? Good morning. How are you doing? Welcome back. Alright, so with that, we'll grab that item so we can turn these quests in real quick. I think we'll have to fight our way back out, though. See, the Haggerty says, is there a consolidated list of quests to avoid when doing the Ironman to prevent getting accidental buffs and etc.? I haven't seen anything like that, Haggerty. I want to say it is my goal eventually at one point to kind of generate that list, but as of now I haven't seen that, so no, I don't think there is one. There might be a handful of listed quests, but is it all-encompassing? I don't think so. Generally speaking, the quest you want to watch out for is any quest that gives you, say, an elixir to take. Obviously, quests that have you die within the series, even if you're res automatically, it'll flag you. So, I wonder if I can do this from here. I can. And then toward the end of each zone, you know, you have to kill that named mob or whatever. Those are the quests you really want to watch out for and take care not to be careless on, because a lot of those mobs do have your one-shot mechanics, or something explodes beside you and blows you up. So typically those quests come at the end of a quest series, so you know, it's when you're getting toward the end of your quest chain that you really need to look out for. Corey says the only PvP I do is 2s, 3s, and RBG caps for the $8.95 year. Yeah, I didn't even know. I know they had kind of given up on balancing the 2s. Is that still the case? Speak with Fizzler Basketball and 1,000 years. So I think we just kind of hearth back and turn this in. Yep. Okay. So we'll do that. Yeah, and you know, we didn't even talk about arenas yet. Here's my idea, and I'll just throw it out there. You guys tell me what you think. For arenas, if you go back to, say, the Roman days, the other cultures that had some level of arenas, it was more or less a free-for-all. You know, you could spontaneously group up with 1 or 2 or 3 people and, you know, survive toward the end, but generally speaking, it was a free-for-all. And I kind of wish that arenas had more, I hate saying RNG, but more of a randomized aspect to it, where you say take 3 or 4 teams of 2, 3, or 5 people and place them all against each other, because, you know, as it stands right now, your arena fights for the most part are rather scripted. You know what to do when you say you hit a mage, a druid, and a shaman. You know which guy to go for. There's no real mystery in that. You know, same thing as if you have a priest, a warrior, and a paladin. You know who to focus on first, who to switch to, and it's just very scripted. It's not arena in the nature of the word, if that makes any sense. So I think to make that more fun and to give players who don't have that script memorized a better chance of succeeding in it, if they would place 2, 3, 4 teams, not 2, but 3 to 4 teams, maybe 5 teams, and have them all fight against each other, you know, there's no real predictability to it at that point. I think it's truly an arena, and it's truly random, and it's truly crazy at that point. Crystal, thank you for the sub, and welcome to the stream. That's a new name. Welcome. Good morning. Alright, so let's see. We're going to fly 2 Tornares, or run to 2 Tornares, but I think we're going to give Failwood a shot this time. Let's just see. Let's see. Sion says, do you know Swifty? I've heard of him. I've seen his stream a couple times. I think the dude's a pretty good warrior, isn't he? I can't remember if he's a warrior or if Bashir, if that's how you say his name, Bashir. But the videos I did see of him, he's pretty talented. Alright, so we'll turn this in. Complete that. Let's see. Let's take a look at Kalimdor. So this is 45 to 50. This is also 45 to 50. Last time we did Felwood, that was pretty quick leveling. So let's see if we can run back there. Unfortunately, it is going to be quite the flight. This is Ashenvale, so yeah, we'll fly there. Sneaky says, who doesn't? I'm doing well, how are you? Yeah, like I said, I haven't watched him all too incredibly much, but I do know who he is. Min says, hey Qyune, I'm downloading Legion now. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, it's not bad, Minge. You enjoy it. like I said, I think, I think for the Blizzard team, those guys, they went through a lot, and I don't know what happened internally, why they crashed so hard, but they have done a tremendous amount of work, and Legion has been the best expansion that they've come out with so far. The Haggerty said, Swifty as a warrior has been around since vanilla. Big time content creator over the years. Yeah, like I said, I've seen a handful of videos where he's doing a world PvP, and the guy's good. I mean, he's better than I am. Everyone says everyone has their different opinions of who's good or whatnot, but he's definitely better than I am, especially at a warrior anyway. I think he has quite a few pocket healers as well, so that makes a huge difference when you're doing PvP. But yeah, he blows some people up. There's no doubt about that. The clown says, Hugh Swifty. Min says, had a look at the Ironman rules and now you're allowed a spec. Yes. Is this just from level 100 or from the start? No, man, you can have a spec from day one, and honestly, that's what's going to give your melee classes an advantage, more so than they used to have, is that you can switch to DPS or you can switch to a tanking spec, so that really helps out when it comes to the Ironman challenge. Legion makes it such that whenever you create a character at any level, you're automatically assigned a spec, and you can just switch that out as you want. The thing that you cannot have are your talents. I dread even pulling this up, but we'll take a quick look at it. It'll be the last time we look at it. That right there, your talents. So this is your specialization. I can switch from these anytime I want. The talents, which I have not chosen any. You can't choose any of your talents at all. There's no way to unlearn them if you accidentally click on them, so that's kind of why I hate clicking on that in general. But yeah, you can have specs, you just can't have talents. And going back to the quest thing, there's a little bit to. Someone was asking if the quest, if there's a list to look out for if there's bad ones or whatnot. No, there's not. But to kind of add to what we were explaining earlier, if, for example, you have a quest where you need to take some sort of elixir, and the elixir places you in a different realm, say the undead realms, it puts you in the past or an undead realm. If you fail that quest, first off, before we get to that point, first off, taking that elixir is a risk. It might flag your account, it might not. They tell you to kind of take that at your own risk, so just kind of pay attention on what you click on. But two, even if it doesn't flag your account, if you, for example, stop doing that quest, or you log out, or something happens, your Warcraft crashes, and you want to take that quest again, if you take that elixir again, if it didn't flag you the first time, it could flag you the second time because you've taken that elixir twice, where you normally wouldn't have to. But if you had an exceptional situation, you could flag yourself that way as well. So just kind of be careful with your elixirs in general, and then especially taking them more than once for whatever reason. Let's see, Dekan says you can only have spec, which is correct, but you can't choose talents, which is also correct. So yeah, I think that's, as far as quest goes, that's about it. I haven't had too many other issues. I did get lucky one time where we were in Howling Fjord, and if you're familiar with that quest line, which we weren't at the time, you run around there. In the very first couple of quests, you get a quest to kind of go into the past, which we did, but you have to find the Lich King and get close enough to him to activate the quest and kind of have it complete. But the Lich King kills you, so that death, even though you're rezzed, would flag your account. So you have to be and the advantage there is just having that experience. And I got lucky the first time. It seemed really suspicious, so we ran around a long time, didn't get close enough to the Lich King for him to kill us or progress the quest, so we didn't die. But the second time I was out there, I did research it and found out it does kill people, so you just kind of have to keep an eye out for that. And sometimes, you know, that's purely going to come from experience, so you know, it's no real lack of skill if you die to something like that, obviously. Min says mounts are at the lower levels now in the expansion. Yes, so you get your 60% mount speed at level 20, 100% mount speed at level 40, and then you get your flying at 150% speed at 60, and you're flying at 280% speed at 70. I don't know when you get your 310, but that's kind of how the order progresses from there. Excuse me. So it's, in that sense, it's easier and it's quicker to get through it, but at the end of the day, that is what the Ironman challenge is at the moment. So it's still tough, you know. There's only been 20 people who've made it to 110, so there is that. Let's see, Min says, wowzers, that'll be a huge help. Yeah, so watch out for Howling Fjord. I don't know if you're planning to do the Eastern Kingdom or Kalimdor, but Eastern Kingdom seems a little bit more dangerous with the faction camps. You know, there's a lot of Alliance outposts, there's a lot of Horde outposts, so, and there's really no rhyme or reason to the level of guards on a faction camp. Lalu says, where are you going? We're going to Felwood. We're almost there, actually. So, you know, for example, in this zone, if I run into a Horde camp, the highest mob I might see, or highest faction NPC I might see, would be 30, 35. But then I could turn around and go to another camp 5 minutes away, and there's a 110 guard running around. So just want to make sure you don't run into the opposite faction NPCs. So that being said, we're going to go along this route and then take a left here and work our way into Felwood. Min says, so Eastern Kingdom is easier? In my opinion, I think Kalimdor is easier. Keithy1980, his channel is linked in the description, but he's done Eastern Kingdoms and he was able to get to level 60 so far, so he's handled Eastern Kingdoms with no issues, just about. So I think it's more or less what you're comfortable with, what you're used to. That's going to help you more than anything else. Alright, so we're alright to keep running through here. Lalo says, you not prefer Tarnaris? To be honest, Tarnaris. I said that wrong the whole time I was in the zone. Tarnaris, there we go. The whole time we were there, looks like my car's downloading drivers. The whole time we were in Tarnaris, it was just a little bit of a situation we were running from across the map to the other side of the map for one quest at a time. So it was just a little bit slower than we would normally progress. So Felwood was pretty good to us last time we were there, so we're going to try it a second time and see if it's just as good or if I was just flying through the content that particular time. Let's see. Lalo says, I always skip the part of your past Ironman challenges. Yeah, the previous videos are timestamped, but all 3 deaths are in those, so yeah, it's the not paying attention and reacting poorly that kind of gets me in that last death, should I say. Min said, so much to remember and learn over again. What is that? Alright, level 22. But yeah, man, that's a huge part of it, is if you kind of have the background knowledge, it's easier. I think that's what makes the challenge easier or harder. It's just having that background knowledge of knowing what quest does what zone has what danger. You know, for example, Blood Elves have, everybody kind of wants to be a Blood Elf, but if you go through the Ghostlands, you'll notice that there's a lot of danger in that zone, actually. So the Blood Elves who do the challenge, hats off goes to those guys, because surviving Ghostlands is pretty tough. You have, I think, 3 or 4 NPCs alone much less situations that can pretty much take you out. And there's not much you can do about it since you can't group with anyone. Min says, have you had fails, or is this your only challenge? No, this is why, this is kind of why I put the 4 there. So the thumbnails that have no number is my first attempt, and then the ones that have 2 and 3 are my second and third attempt. But generally speaking, we died at 85 the first time, we died at 33 the second time, and then we died at 74 last week. Yeah, last Thursday, I think, the third time. So this is our 4th attempt. So I think we're about to officially land in Failwood, all at level 46. So we're doing pretty good for 3 hours, I think, especially considering we lost 15 or 20 minutes due to server restarts. Actually, I think it was 30 minutes. Alright, so do we have a quest here? No, we're just kind of running in wild, so let's do that. And Big Owl, we'll kind of stay away from those guys. What level are they? 45. So let's go ahead and grab this fight path as well as whatever quests are available. Looks like there's quite a bit, so this would be a nice start for us. Is there an inn? If you can find the place that has a mailbox, that's 9 times out of 10 where your inn's going to be, but I'm not seeing that here, so we'll at least sell some stuff. That way we can start here with empty bags. Alright, so we'll sell all this. Doesn't match. And I think we'll get rid of this. So with that, let me go ahead and grab all of these quests. I think we'll clear out our quest log as well. That way, yeah, let's do that now actually. So let's see, let's hide that. So Fairless, we're done with that. We're banning those. It would have been decent XP to do these quests from Fairless and going to Stranglethorn Vale, but the time to do it would just be way too much, so we are done with all of that. It's all Failwood today. This path goes up here somewhere, but I think it's just off to nowhere. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and head this way. Robin says, do you fail the challenge? Alright, do you fail the challenge if you die? Yes, you do. In fact, my first and third attempt are still ghosts at the moment. Not sure what I want to do with the gold left on them, if I just want to buy a pet and abandon them, but yeah, those are still gold, are still ghost, and I actually deleted the guy that died at 33. Chris, welcome back. Chris says, I really want to see him die. Okay, not welcome back. And flip his desk over. No, it's kind of a learning experience. We died the other 3 times we died. Let me put this up here. So I think if we get the wasp or whatever on us, we have to jump. Yep. Jump in water to get them off? Oh. Really? So if we just sit here and jump, they still tick. Well, they tick for about 10%, so that's not too bad. We'll come back and kill the wolves later. Minion says that's nasty. My desk will go over a few times, I'm sure. Yep, I haven't had a desk flipping moment yet. I was a little disappointed with how I handled the last death, but nothing too rage-inducing. To be honest, I just enjoyed the immersion and the style of leveling so much that... Alright, so we need to... I think we can just endure it. It doesn't really do too much damage. It seems to be on a timer. We have 5 seconds left, so... I'm not all too worried about it. He says, how mad would you be if you died at this? Well, we died 3 times. I don't know if I would say I got mad, but I was kind of, like I said, disappointed with the second and third death. The first one, you know, is kind of like, well, you know, we got far on our first attempt, but given that we died the second and third time, not getting as far as we did the first time, it's like, yeah, that was a little disappointing. That's alright though, we got it. And we will make a hunter as many times as it takes until we get it right. That's the rule of thumb. There'll be no switching except for in September when we do the race. Chris says you're so calm sounding. I try to be. I try to be. Let's see. Let's grab this and blow up this guy as well. And we'll go ahead and smash that little nest. I think this is the only quest we have. Are these 2 quests are the only ones we have to do here at the moment? I think we have to go back and get the wolf tails or corrupted pelts, I believe. The good thing about killing the furbolgs though is your humanoid type stuff, like these guys, like say skeletons or whatever else, they tend to have a higher rate of dropping your BOE gear, so you can sell that, but they also drop cloth at a higher rate most of the time. So you know, if you're doing, say, the bloodthirsty challenge, or you just need a point in time where you need to grind mobs for a little bit, try to focus on mobs like these. That way you can generate some level of gold so you can buy goblin gliders and whatever else you need, including mount training. Oh man, you might be interested, since you sound like you might be doing a challenge. Alright, so that's done. I did get that. But you can have any quality bags, tabard, or shirt. So there is that available to you if you want. So we'll go ahead and turn this back in. I think there's a rare in this camp. Let's see if we can just briefly look at him. I don't know if he patrols a lot, or if at all, should I say. Alright, maybe not. Okay. I think we have to come back this way anyway, so we'll come back. Min says, I always played a hunter in normal WoW. Do you think they are the best class for this challenge? I think the hunters are probably your fastest class. So I think that's a good first choice. Out of the 20 people who have made it to 110, I think 8 of them are hunters. So it does give you, it is a little bit quicker. That is level 47. Nice. Let's go ahead and start working on these pelts here. But yeah, I think it's a good first choice. And in short, they say, I've heard someone say monks are also really good at it. So that might be something worth looking at. I think they have a lot of utility as far as CC, your crowd control, as well as your escape ability, where they kind of do their tornado kick away. Darth said, how did the first 3 die? The first one was probably the most unfortunate. Let me close this real quick. We kind of followed in behind someone without realizing it. So we ran into their respawns, and the way it is timestamped in previous videos if you want to see it, but oh, we got BOE glows, nice. But what had happened is I guess we were behind someone, and not everything had respawned all the way. So that meant that the stuff that was neutral was the only stuff that respawned. So when we ran in there was no corpses or anything like that. So we had no reason to believe that we were going to get respawns on top of us. In addition to that, Sam got away from me. So he go ahead and kill this guy, I guess. He pulled a couple extra mobs. So I was like, all right, well, we'll handle that you know, no big deal. We pull extra mobs all the time. But then the respawn popped up on top of us, and even though I shadow melded and even though I used feigned death, it wasn't enough. They saw through the shadow meld, and a couple shots still hit me even though I feigned death. So that's how we died there. Then the second time, I had taken a Naga suit and mistook it for an avatar. So when my health got down to 0, I figured the avatar would just fall off and then I'd pop out and we'd go about our way here. But that didn't happen. So when the disguise died, since I was in the disguise, I died as well. I think I needed to click on something, or what is this? Oh, okay. I'm supposed to do a dance here. Or is it on this one? Alright, we'll go dance over here then. I might have to read the quest. You have done well, not out from was pleased by your bravery and delicious honey. Now you must dance. Okay. So I thought we turned it in here, so let's try that one more time. That's kind of weird. Maybe we'll abandon it and try it again. Or we'll give this a couple seconds. Oh, okay, there we go. Let's see, death minute. So Chris says it's like dying on Immortal Run at 1% on the last boss. There we go. There he is. Finally. Alright, so we're going to turn that in real quick. Let's see. Chris says, I rock the title on Mount still. Yeah, no, I need to start doing my Mount runs. I've been doing transmog here recently, but still lacking on the... Alright, so that's not going to give us experience, so we won't worry about that. Where do we need to go next? All the way to the back here. I think we just go in this direction. But yeah, I'm a little behind on my mounts. I think I only have 200 and something. 222. Alright, so let's see if we can cut across here and kill these guys. Which looks like it starts up here. Mange says, Monk is not for me. Yeah, it's, I don't mind it. I thought the Monk was pretty fun to play. It was... I actually geared mine up just a little bit. I think he's like 860 or something. Chris says, Grats, saw you hit 30 last time. I appreciate that. Yeah, we just hit 47. And I think we started at 43, so... 4 levels in 3 hours. Not too bad. Maybe a little less than 3 hours since we had the server down for 30 minutes. But yeah, not too bad at all. Min says, are you on a PvE server? Yes, this is this attempt is on Argent Dawn. Oops. Let's throw a trap on that guy. Go ahead and blow him up. Yeah, if you're in a situation where you're in a massive camp, or just a camp in general, try to kill the guys that are moving first, because those will be the ones that sneak up behind you if you get in a bad position and make a situation from manageable to unmanageable here pretty quick. Go ahead and heal Sam up. Let's see, Nightbot says, hello, hope you guys are doing good. What's going on, Nightbot? How are you doing? And Qyune, it's Wannabe. Oh, okay. What's going on, Wannabe? How you been doing? Haven't seen you in a while, actually. how's your morning going actually as well? We've been doing pretty good over here. Like I said, made it to level 47. I'm kind of hoping we run across that rare. I think it's a demon that's a different color, so it should be pretty easy to detect. We'll slow him down. We'll wait for kill command. Silence the bolt as well. Min says, at least you won't get ganked. I guess you're a Beastmaster spec. Yes. And I don't think I've heard of anyone making it to 110 on a PvP realm. I think if I was to do the challenge that way, it would have to be kind of almost in secret. You know, I couldn't list the character, or I couldn't stream that activity, because I think people would go out of their way to be the final act in that stream. So yeah, I'd have to do that in secret. But I think the highest someone's ever gotten on a PvP realm is either 50, no, sorry, 97, 98. Alright, so there's nothing left here. We'll go ahead and turn this in as well. Nightbot says, good, been busy. That's good to hear. Glad everything's going well your way. We haven't had nearly as many close calls on this attempt, so it's been going fairly well on this side as well. Alright, so we're about a quarter of the way into 47, so that's not bad. And we are probably right around, well, yeah, we're right about the 3-hour mark, give or take. That's not too bad. So let's see here. So something that I want to change is toward the end of our streams, I do kind of want to recommend other channels, because there's other people who do the Ironman challenge who also do Warcraft content, and kind of recommend channels that carry the same type of theme that we have going on here, especially with the same, what do you want to call it, not criteria, but mannerisms. You know, you have your more aggressive natured streams, and then you have your more relaxed ones. So I do kind of want to recommend other channels whenever that becomes available. So toward the end, we'll do that today, and we'll see which channel is streaming currently and give them a little bit of support, I suppose. But with that, we're going to, this might be a safe spot to do that. Let's see, we're at 3:15 at the moment, 3 hours 15 minutes. So let's see. Mitch says, sign still 14 gigs to download Legion. Midge, are you using the Battle.net app, or is that how you're downloading it? Because you can go into settings and adjust the download speed rate. So there is that option. I think generally speaking it's high enough that you don't have to adjust it, but you can adjust it, so it could speed it up just a little bit. Sip it says, you got it. Oh, Sip it, come on, man. Legion's the best expansion so far. With a small asterisk saying, in my opinion. Alright, so with that, what do we need to do here? MC. Oh, we need to capture the small little imp. Oddly enough, there's a significant amount of rares in Felwood, but I haven't seen the first one yet. Oh, there's our imp there. I'll throw a bag on him. How close do we need to get? I guess we have to weaken him? After he's been weakened, yes. Okay. Not weakened enough yet. So 50% is not the magic number. Looks like it's about... It's about 20-25%. Alright, there we go. Alright, so with that... There's a pretty cool looking owl that flies through here. I don't know if this is his area or not, but It's a nice looking pet for hunters, and it's a nice chance to get good loot for everyone else. Let's see. Min said Qyune inspired me. Nice. Min says, yep, using the app. Okay. Yeah, if you go into your download settings, depending on how fast your download speed is originally, you might be able to up that a little bit, so it might speed it up for you. Sippa says, yeah, I'm glad he got it. I've been playing Legion, but I put away my computer until I finish my school year because I have no self-control. Hey, that is 100% understandable, Sippa. I've, like we were talking about earlier, there was 1 or 2 semesters when I was in college where I did uninstall it completely and didn't pick it up until finals were done. So there's going to be some semesters and some school years that are like that. So just, it's all good. It'll be there when you get back. The good thing about Warcraft is you're never behind. You're never ahead and you're never behind. So, oh, okay, so we do need to kill just these. All right. So go ahead and pull that out. Thankfully, the water doesn't give us too much damage. It's not like the Fell Blood in Tanan Jungle. Don says, I'm back. I was trying to hypnotize my mom, but it didn't work. Interesting. How did it go? It didn't work. Let's see. Whoa. What happened? I think the trick with hypnotism is someone has to be willing. I think that's the trick anyway. Let's see. Min says school. LOL. I'm 64. Oh, nice. All right. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Now, Minj, are you gonna stream it? Or are you gonna kind of do it on your own? All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead and work our way back there. I guess we could check this area for a rare. Let's run up this hill real quick. It's usually trying to look for some ruins or something else like that, but it doesn't look like we have much of anything to go off of, which is fine. It's pretty much just BOE to get BOE gear at this point, so there's no real need to spend a lot of time on it. Let's see. Min says, nope, on my own. I'll register it where it needs to be registered. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me know how you do. I'm kind of curious. Have you decided on your class? You think you'll do a hunter, or you maybe something else? I think a warlock is also feasible. It's not going to have the quick explosive damage that a hunter has, I think, unless maybe you're Destro. But I think a warlock's kind of a viable option as well, especially with your health stone. Alright, what do you need to do? Claw of... Okay, so this is one of those quests where you have to be careful of doing it more than once. I've done it once, so I don't have too much of a concern of accidentally, what do you want to say, flagging myself. So we have done it once. And we'll go ahead and kill the pet first, and then we'll focus on this guy. Okay, so if you kill the imp, it despawns the other guy. Nice. And I'm 90% sure the guy we need to kill is over here. It warns you not to go outside of the realm of influence here, so that makes me concerned if we accidentally phase out with that one shot us. But this guy has 3,600 health, so we'll blow all of our cooldowns. I think maybe once we loot him, we should phase right out of here. Yeah, we'll turn that in. And we'll complete that. And that'll port us right back. Nice. Okay. That's done. We'll accept this. And we'll accept this as well. Let's see. Super says 64 and a name like that. I like it, I guess. Mensch laughs. Mensch says some things you are never too old for. That is 100% right. I think I don't know, it's always good to try new things and attempt new stuff no matter what your age. I think at the end of the day, that's generally speaking just a number, and it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Mitch says, I'll stick with what I know, the hunter, I think. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's probably the safest route. One, sticking with what you know, and two, the explosive damage that a hunter gives you will make it a little bit quicker than a lot of other classes. Alright, Don says, Qyune, I'm back. Now I was trying to hypnotize Mom to go to deep sleep and it didn't work. Yeah, Trey, I think you're going to need a willing participant. Or wait till she works a 12-hour shift. John says, my room smells like fart. John, there is a simple reason and a simple cure to that, so that's the only hint I'm going to give you there. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Let's see. I think at this point we're pretty much good for today because we're going to be at 47. Let me do something here. So this is the first time we're going to give this a shot, and I'm going to pull this up real quick. Let's see. So I want to try to find someone who's doing maybe the Ironman challenge or doing Warcraft as well. Because it seems like we're kind of running toward the end of this show. It looks like I don't think I want to recommend the private server streams. Those are, in my opinion, those are on a timer. I think Blizzard has pretty much shut them all down on Twitch, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's coming up on YouTube as well. But let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna pause that. So I'm gonna put this in chat if it works for me. And let's see. See if I accidentally block myself here. There we go. So that is Missildine Online. He is leveling a Warlock at the moment, and he does a lot of your transmog and mount farming runs. So feel free to stop by his channel. Obviously, be courteous if you go into someone else's stream. Let's try to keep it as professional, as clean as possible. But do tell him I said hi, and yeah, just be good. That's right. So with that, let's go ahead and call it here for today. And maybe in the future we'll come up with some sort of hashtag or something. I'm not big on Twitter, so I do have one. I'll try to link it here maybe today or tomorrow. But maybe we'll come up with some sort of hashtag together. I can't think of anything on my own. But Nicola says, "Is this retail server?" Yes, it is. This is 100% retail. So Corey or Missildine Online also does retail as well. So. And he does a lot of the same content I do and will be doing. So feel free to check out his channel. Like I said, let him know that I told you, I sent you and said hi. And I think that'll be it for today. Generally speaking, we do the stream every day from 6 to 9 for those who are new to the stream. And thank you for everyone who has subscribed and who has liked the video today. I really appreciate that. And more than anything, I appreciate when you guys chime in and say hi and warn me if I'm about to kill myself on a quest. So it just makes it a lot more fun. You guys have no idea how much more fun this is with chat versus without it. Because I've done I've done a stream for a week when I first started, and there was no interaction. So I do appreciate that. It makes it that much more fun. So tomorrow we'll be back from 9. I think tomorrow we'll do an extended stream. I think, yeah, we will do an extended stream tomorrow because we have a little bit more time. I have some stuff I have to wrap up in real life. My semester is about to start here, so I have that to look forward to and knock out. Valentine says, "Why restrict yourself to YouTube and not go Twitch?" I could split up and use the Restream website. To be honest, it's just I think the different platforms have different interests. It seems like Twitch is more your high-end style of rating, but if there are people on Twitch who would be interested in me doing this, I could kind of reopen that avenue and we could do both. That just means I have to respond to 2 different chats, and sometimes that's non-immersive, if that makes any sense. If I respond to people who are talking in Twitch, a lot of the guys in YouTube might not know, and then vice versa. So Valentine says you're really nice to watch. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Like I said, you guys make this all the more fun. So I think we'll wrap it up for today. Tomorrow will be extended stream, and Valentine's. Yeah, I'll definitely consider that. Maybe toward the end of the week, I'll consider using that Restream website and kind of branch it out to both YouTube and Twitch. We'll see how that works out, but I think Valentine says, I think they're mutually exclusive with regards to terms of service. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Sippy says, love you, Qyune. I'll catch you sometime soon. Once again, thanks. I appreciate that as well. Like I said, if you guys are still looking for something else similar to watch, feel free to drop by Mr. Dean. I did post the link, so feel free to stop by, say hi, and be a part of his content as well. So Valentine says you might need to choose. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, I'll look into that, Valentine. I appreciate that. I'll look into that and see which one, if that is the case, and which route I should go. I think if I had to pick and choose, I've pretty much set myself up for YouTube. But if I can do both, we'll take it from there. Don says, "Are you leaving?" Yes, sir. Don, Trey, I'll remember that. Yes, we are wrapping it up for today, and we are going to pick up same time tomorrow, 6 a.m. Valentine says, not 100% sure, but anyway, goodbye. Valentine, thank you for coming in as well. And you guys, for everyone still here and watching and everything else, you guys have a great rest of the day. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. And thank you as always, and see you tomorrow. All right, take care.